Boom.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Wales? Welcome
Chilling,
to
man.
another awesome episode of HexAsians. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's always a good one, right? We always
Oh,
have
yeah.
fun here. For
That
sure.
reminds me. I do have to do some BGMs. Give me a second. How about some music?
Some nice, relaxing music.
Let's ignore what we came here to do and just play some music.
I know, right? What's that?
Let's change the entire concept of the show on the fly.
I just made shit up as we go, right? What do you
Right.
do? And I've got nothing else better to do than not stare at the chart, care about what the price does, get paid every day. That's it.
Beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle, that's a new one. Hey, welcome to the stream. I see some more new names in the chat.
We keep getting new folks all the time, man. It's pretty cool. Shout out to you if you're new.
Yep.
And let me get the. All right.
So let me quickly check the chats. Well, Tony, nice to see you. 6 hex 148. Day 43. How are you, mate? Put the
Day
games above
43.
369. It's a good day to get in. That's a pretty good day. One of those days. The hex at least. Pulsechain Nation, what's going on? Oh, I didn't miss one person. Aussie 78. So, what have we got here? Baggio, how are you? Hey, Diraj. Glad you could join us again. Heck, softball, what's going on?
Oh, man. Too funny.
Alex? Orion? Or Orion, whichever.
Is that D-Raj on the piano?
What's going on? Ah. Hey, Miss Exquisite. Hopefully your internet's sorted. But yeah, come join us when you do.
All right. Let's get this
Ah.
shot up.
7-star hotel in Dubai.
I've stayed
T-Bird.
there. Wait, what? Hold on.
What?
T-Bird said the music sounds like a 7-star hotel. I guess the lobby.
There's a hotel that I stayed at that got the word star in it. That's why I was like, oh, I stayed there. But no. Now I get what you mean. You're talking about the rating.
Are you talking about like a motel that goes 7-star motel and it's actually nothing? It's just the name?
No. I meant a hotel
What
in
do you mean?
Dubai. A hotel in Dubai I stayed at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good old days.
Sandy B, what's going on? We'll just wait for a little bit. Papa's a bit late. And, actually, that reminds me.
What about Uncle?
Yeah, good question. I actually don't know. I actually don't know. If anything, he's probably gone dark, right? The price is so good, he's gone dark. So who knows? Who knows?
He quit.
Oh,
Me done with this shit, motherfucker.
I don't want to do stinky people anymore. You know, I've got people at my door after me for hex.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm done.
God.
No more.
Dom Mech. If you guys are new to the stream, if you have any questions, go ahead and fire away in the chat, and
Congrats,
we'll attend
Dom,
to them.
Nice.
Congrats, brother. Congrats. That's a big move on your part. You'll be one happy fucker in a few months. Hell yeah. Because here's the thing, man. People don't, that's the one thing that no matter when you enter Hex, like this is why everybody wins, right? Like no matter what, you're getting the same APY. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the same APY. So the fact that you're joining now means nothing. It's what you put down on the table is what signifies what your payout is going to be. Because it's still going to be with respect to what you own, right? Not anything different than that. So you're just
Yep.
paying a higher, price for the Hex. So you're just getting less shares, right? But you're still getting paid with respect to what you own. So you're still getting that 40% or whatever the case is, right? If you're getting a 5-year stake, 20% or whatever the number is, right? You're still getting paid out according to what you're supposed to be getting. So don't feel no type of way. You're good.
That's awesome.
For sure. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It is a beautiful thing.
I was going to take his pills. I'm not sure about that. We'll ask him when he comes back on. Hey, Big Gunner D, how's it going? Hey, Macho, I've seen you. Are you in Korea, Macho, by any chance? Or yeah, just put it in the chat. The uncle's playing the piano. No, not even close. Actually, you know what? I should probably make my own riff. I've got a little 88 keyboard down the back. I haven't played forever. Maybe I should do something.
What don't you
put it on my list?
Matt says he's in the UK.
Okay, gotcha.
Smart. Dominic is a smart guy. Already did the math. Smart guy.
Yep. Spread the word, Dom.
Yep. Let people know there's real crypto and then there's promise coins, brother. A lot of people have a hard time like grasping that reality. They just can't comprehend that there is the difference between a finally complete product. Like we've never had this in crypto. It's never existed. So it's very hard for people to wrap their head around.
Yeah, Dom, I was about to say that happened to me, I think, prior to Big Payday at least. Yeah, I think most people did anyway when most of us were from day one. The moment we saw what we saw, that was it. There's nothing else like it. Just dump everything. No questions.
You see John B. Yeah, what's up, Finn Bear? You see John B's comment about, I guess these guys are arrogant about saying they take this burn. Actually, it is kind of. It doesn't come back into fruition. You don't realize that you staked plus your interest for you in the stake. So I guess you could say it's kind of.
No, I can't really waste time on these people. I'll be honest. I mean, I did had a quick glance, but trying to get involved is pointless, right? Like, well, at least for Eric, we all know that Eric, he cares about his reputation, about like what I would like to call promise coin land, or rather, as what Wales is talking about all this time. So no, I want to get involved. It's just rubbish. Where are we? Hey, Italian 8, how are you? What's up? Yeah, people just talking about mechanisms without understanding how they work when the information's out there. Yeah. I think it's more... sometimes when I go look at I don't know if you guys got any chance to go look at like how when people describe like, oh, I spent 5 minutes and look at Hex, it's so complicated or something like that. And they're like, why is it so complicated? I'm like, okay, hang on. First you spent 5 minutes. If you truly want to know what you're putting your money into, that shouldn't just be a 5-minute job. I mean, like in your day job, if you have a day job at least, that you don't spend 5 minutes to do anything. I mean, like everything is well thought. Many hours of thought process has gone through it. It just won't be a 5-minute job. Not with your money, at least. That's just insane. What's this?
All I'm gonna say is that people need to stop wasting their damn time talking to fucking fools. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I don't know how many times I gotta highlight the same thing. And I really hate sounding like a broken record, but I mean, when you're left with no choice, right? Like, people just need to wake the fuck up, man. Seriously. These people are here to take views and clicks. They're not here to actually get educated or anything like that. Stop believing the hype. They're looking to become relevant because they no longer are. Wake up. You're not doing them any favors by trying to educate people that have no interest in being educated. Plain and simple. Very, very simple. There's no reason to act collegial about what is going on because nothing collegial is going on with their attitude. These people are not stupid. You can't tell them people are feigning stupidity. Like, you people tend to, like HexAsians seem to be pretty smart. Stop being stupid. Seriously. Stop trying to be fucking nice and wake the fuck up. Real talk. Like, what's wrong with you? You're wasting time giving these morons your time. They don't deserve it. What have they done to earn your time besides shit on Hex and act like it's irrelevant? And then they misname what the fuck Pulsechain is? Are you fucking shitting me? Let me hear this fucking name come out of somebody's mouth again. I'm gonna slam dunk you. I better not hear this dude's name ever again. Real talk. I'm being so serious. Because if you're gonna disrespect your pocket, you're not gonna do it in front of me. Because I've been talking nothing but high class shit since I got on these fucking streams. I'm not gonna degrade myself by even putting myself in that same presence in even verbal form. And if you are low enough to put yourself in that capacity, more power to you. I'm not that weak. Can't do it.
Boom. There you go. Hey, Crypto King, I think Finbear DM'd you or something to clear something up. I don't know if you've addressed him at all.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I must have missed what if he said something. I guess I missed it. But yeah, Finbear, I appreciate the support and kind words. It's all good, brother.
That last sentence didn't sound good. I came
midstream.
Like, what? How do you... Okay, anyway. Yeah, spot on, BMA. Only cares about his followers and followings, blah, blah. I like this. Alex Saunders wrecked the factory. If you have to make a new Google account just to give that name, you must be really a shit of a human being, right?
Oh my god. So in all seriousness though, stop giving that people fucking light. Stop giving these people light. Stop it. You're giving them clicks and views. You're not giving them anything else. They know what the fuck Hex is. They know it's fucking better. Don't be a fool. What the fuck you think that chart is showing? It's very simple. It's very simple.
Yo, earlier on a separate note about the Kitco News, the Richard Yard interview that David Lynn did with Richard. Everybody is familiar with from the past. Kitco News used to have Daniela Cambone. She was like the lead anchor for Kitco News. Well, now she has her own news agency, and I tweeted out to her, and I said, "Hey, your former news site Kitco interviewed Richard, so it would be awesome to have Richard on your show. So let's see if that can happen."
I thought Daniela was with Porter Stansbury, or no?
Yeah, she's with them now. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
But she does it. She does interviews. She interviewed Mark Cuban, other investors and Charles Salente and stuff like that. So.
Nice. Derek Mast, PX to $5 in the first hour. Really? All that money in Pulse is going to want to explore PX. Here's the best option. Don't know. No one knows. I just helped a turtle cross the road. Well, good on you. Funny that you did say that, though, because I saw a school of ducks, or a family of, not school of ducks, what am I saying? Family of ducks, I should say, cross the road, and I basically stopped traffic for them to cross. That's a very, very normal occurrence here anyway.
Cool.
On at UK 1, hearing Wales makes my day better. Perfect.
Gets you motivated.
Yeah. What's up, guys? When do you think Richard Hard's exchange will be released? And is it going to be called Pulse Exchange? Don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know. Do you think we should even do like a naming poll or a competition for in exchange? Don't know, is it even worth it at all?
Yeah, I don't know what the naming would be, but we know that it's going to be probably one of the best exchanges out there too.
I'm not even going to try and say your name, but yeah, I do get that rap music is a lot better. But if you've got something that is copyright free, feel free to suggest. I might put that on as well on the next show probably, but this one's just what I can find, and just with the theme of today at least, which is good.
So yeah, back to crypto. Seriously, guys, stop giving these folks your time and energy. They're not worth it. If they were, they would have it already. They would not come in and out to engage because, Hex is, whatever now. Pulsechain, whatever now. Like, understand what's going on, man. Like, seriously. Stop being played by these fools. Because that's what they are. And they're making you look foolish because they're taking your kindness for weakness. And you're letting them. Serious. Very serious. You're talking about building bridges and trying to be nice and welcome people. They're fucking playing you. They're not trying to be nice. They're trying to give views. Stop being foolish. This is 2021. Everybody knows how to fucking read. Everybody knows how to be discerning when they want to fucking be. Not that hard. Everybody has an agenda and they flex it. And they're doing it nicely on you if you're fucking falling for the... Like, I can't believe what the fuck has happened in the past 24 hours. It's like I've not said anything in the past 6 months. It's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, the cognitive dissonance is astounding. The fact that people think that they could talk sense into these people that clearly have an agenda. Laughable. Yeah.
And it seems that those promise coins are feeling the pressure of Pulsechain coming about because one of our favorite ones is now all of a sudden has smart contracts or coming against it.
Everybody's feeling the pressure.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt Cho, sorry, just with your comment. You're right. So I think that's one of the other things, I suppose, for us, at least for me, because I've dumped every other coin, so I'm not really emotionally attached to anything at all other than, well, kind of Hex, but at some stage, I think I was talking to Wells every now and again as well. I keep saying Hex just kind of make me kind of dumb to say, like I cannot read charts no more because I don't stare at them no more. I don't stare at indicators no more. I don't do any of those things no more. It just because it just works. I mean, like Hex is my ticket to dumbness, right? All I care is where's my money, when am I getting paid? that's the only thing I pay attention to, and obviously maintaining my T-shares and all that stuff. And now we've got 2 networks coming up, so I think we're going to be really, really busy just trying to keep up with those 2. So any other activity, I'm probably not even going to think about. Oh, one more thing about groupthink. I think, I suppose something about our community, because well, the Hex community at least, we're all in it together. So you're gonna be bound to find someone with the same level of bags you've got, same level of ranking you've got, and will probably have the same problems you have managing those funds. It's a really good problem to have, and to have the community behind you and people who have came before you to give you advice, like Wales or anyone that we all love or dearly in our hearts in the community. You can easily reach out.
Just baffling. I'm honestly baffled, man.
Yep.
Just honestly baffled. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Seriously. I just don't get it. I really honestly do not get it. It's like, all you do is you try to be courteous and nice, and what do? They spit in your face. And people still don't get it. How many years of that treatment do you actually need to understand what is going on? Wake up. Seriously. Just wake the fuck up. Seriously.
Wake up. Wake up. I said wake up! Get your ass up!
Yeah, that's how I really want to say it, but I'm being real fucking nice about it.
I think what they're probably most likely doing is trying to put up a loyalty sign in the back, but we all know they're HexAsians. But to their followers, they want to still be loyal to whatever promise coin that they're pushing. But behind the scenes, they got their stakers in Hex.
Look, it doesn't matter what they own. What you're seeing publicly is what matters to me. And what you're seeing publicly is they disrespect the name and the chain. So fuck them. Right. It's very simple. They don't earn anybody's time in this community. Straight up. The fact that the time is being given is disrespectful as fuck to community members, in my opinion. Because what you're doing is exposing them to trash, not quality. You're exposing them to trash, not quality. That's a fact. Just look at the title of what the fuck was just released. You call that quality? I would dare somebody tell me that's fucking quality. Everybody needs to wake the fuck up. Seriously. If not, all of this work is for nothing. And goodbye. Because what's the fucking point if you're just going to be drug along by schmucks? You kidding me? Just because that motherfucker has followers, you think he's worth time? Wake the fuck up. That's the exact frame of thought that has the world in this shit of a situation that it's in now. Stop appeasing the fucking masses of morons that don't know dick. If they knew, they'd be here, not there. Pretty fucking simple.
Yeah, I understand that. But in the days that we're dealing with, everybody looks at whether or not you have a blue check mark or
okay. You think Rich is gonna get one?
Right.
Yeah, no.
I don't think he exactly. One.
So what you worried about a check mark for? What relevance does that have? It has no relevance. The chart is all the relevance we need.
Right.
Understand the facts, bro. The facts are the math is what matters. All this other nuanced shit is exactly that. Nuanced shit. It's fluff. It's filler. It's not doing anything. It's really not. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is 2 things. Buyers, sellers. That's it. And what they do thereafter. Nothing else matters. All that other shit, okay, cool, bro. Feel you. I get it. I'm the guy that explained the network effect to people. Nobody else gets it better than me. So you guys need to realize that. I'm speaking from a simple fact of the matter that quality is superior to quantity, always and forever. That is all. And we really need to respect that fact because it is a fact, not an opinion. Look outside. I think we can all agree that that's a fact, not an opinion. Just look outside. Quality over quantity always wins. And what happens when we're sucking quantity dick is this. This is what happens. Disrespect constantly. This is what happens. Come on. No. I think we're better than this. I know I am. Fuck that.
Yeah, if you're number one, I think you act and behave like someone who is already a number one at the top anyway, and that's
You're real low.
I mean, again, it's about simple understanding, right? Understand your position. You're not number one if you're bowing down, right? You're not. And when we kowtow to these clowns, we're making it clear that we're not number one. And that's the bigger issue at hand. We are number one. I don't understand what the problem is with people forgetting that. Just because the rest of the world doesn't see it means nothing. In fact, it's irrelevant. Because at the end of the day, the numbers do all the talking. Everybody else they're just now catching up. Look at the growth. The growth in the numbers is letting you know what's going on. What do you think caused that? You think it was this pump that happened 2 days ago? No. It's everybody getting wrecked because that's what happened. And the only thing that didn't get wrecked is still freaking consolidating at all-time highs. Higher than before that point in time when everybody got wrecked. So what do you think is causing the growth? I mean, it's very simple. Math talks. Money talks. Bullshit walks. I see Twitter messages I get every day because people find us. They find us. They're not finding us through their clown-ass furus. Not one has told me that story. So I want people to understand that because I understand what you guys are trying to say, do, whatever, but it's not working. It's not a real tactic that's bringing people that are really looking for this. You have to be looking for this. This is real. This is not a game. You literally have people not understanding that crypto is this. They think it's projects and shit. Because they haven't even read the Bitcoin white paper, bro. Like, they don't even know the most basic shit. So you think you're gonna go onto a Furu stream where all they do is talk nonsense day in, day out. They have no conceptual reality of what the fuck crypto is whatsoever. Because all they do is talk about cockamamie shit. That's it. Projects. That's all they talk about. And you think you're going to walk up in there one time, talk about real crypto, and that's going to do something. I don't know about that one. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but I'd like to say brainwashing doesn't work like that. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm just trying to keep people in check, keep people correct, because what I'm saying don't make no sense. We're better than that. So that's all I'm saying.
good stuff. Hey, Corey. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I did see the post. You and Mrs. Having a great time, having a picnic. That's exactly what.
Yeah, what's up, Corey? Hope you well, brother. I know you out there living life, man. About to retire.
Just going through the chats quickly.
Spin that economical slang.
Word.
Yeah.
You need to drop another one already, bro. This vacation got to come over soon, man.
Yeah. You're taking one of those Jay-Z hiatuses.
Right. Maybe I'll return again. Oh, man. Too funny. Yeah, man. I just want people to understand, you're not doing yourself any favors, man. That's all.
Well, opportunity for us if
Oh yeah, all day.
if no one wants to get on, great. I'm gonna get as much hex as I possibly can get.
Correct. So no problem here. Yeah, no corners are definitely the ticket, man. No corners, get it in 2.5 seconds. I've onboarded more no corners than anything else. Yep. Crypto crowd is not the crowd. They're brainwashed, man. Like
Is that
I've been telling this to people for a long time. It hasn't failed yet. Like you cannot expect people that think they can make money faster by doing stuff than by just sitting on their ass. And I'm telling you because I was that guy. I promise you. It's something that only you come to terms with because the market has to beat it out of you. That's it. Like it's one of those things where you either learn the hard way if you don't listen. And most people just if you can't show them the math and they respect them and they don't respect the math, then they're just gonna have to learn the hard way. And that's just what it is.
Hey, shout out to Alan Phil's Amy for the $5 super chat. Hex was hard to find. When you try to explain it to people, roll their eyes and go back to sell low and buy high. I refuse to not succeed.
There
Much
you go.
love to y'all.
Shout out
Yep.
to you, Alan. Shout out to you, brother.
Well done.
It's really simple. You know, if you realize that Hex is a business more than anything else because it does one thing and it does it well, and that's create value, it's very straightforward. And there you go. That's another one, too. That's another one, too. I mean, again, man, you know, you just look at these people's demeanor. You know, they act so pompous, so and they speak around the truth, man. Like they just man. Like fuck that. Just no. I'm just not accepting it. Just no. It's so fake. It's so fake and fraudulent. Like that's the problem with the Hex community. You guys can't see scammers a mile away. And Richard Hart isn't the one. It's all those other fake furus out there that are out here getting people wrecked and taking their money for it. Those are the people that are the scammers. Those people that you're trying to educate, you're trying to help, you're trying to bring along for the ride, fuck them. They're out there scamming people left and right. They're just Alexander replicas and you don't know it yet. You don't get that. So let me tell you, since you don't get it, realize, let me speak about this one more time, that you had an individual running around the fake promise coin industry, plugging them for money, and they, not a single one, said a damn thing. Don't you guys get it yet? They're all about stealing, man. What is wrong with you? All of them are all about stealing. Why else would they get robbed and not say a damn thing about it? Because they're robbing each other. They're robbing whoever they can. What else do you need to see? They're not doing anybody any favors. They're not even being honest with what they're doing with their own followers. Like, for real. Just look at their channels. Look at their videos. You don't got to take my word for it. They're doing it in real time. They're showing you with their actions who they are. Don't ignore it. Seriously.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. It's baffling to me.
Bag of tricks. That's it.
And, you know, I didn't intend to come on the stream and talk about this shit, but if that's what you guys want to talk about, yo, I'm going to let it all out because it's just unacceptable. I'm not going to accept it. Not having it. Nope. No. Not at all. You guys want to waste your time, that's fine, but you're going to know what I think about it. And everybody else is too, because I hold a standard. If I have to set the standard, well, that's fine. I'll set that motherfucker too. But I will not relinquish the title of #1 crypto. You guys can. I will not. So that's where I stand with that. So there you go. Oh yeah, there's another one. Yeah, I saw that all about the hex. I saw that story. That's crazy. And that dude was straight up telling people too. He didn't even give a fuck. Yep.
And
He
you got,
straight told people. He told them. He didn't even give a fuck, and people still bought this shit. Like you can't even help people. Like the dude told them. I saw the stream where he told them because it was funny. Where he was talking about this shit. What's going on, Papa?
How you doing, guys?
Papa.
Oh shit. Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
What's up?
Give me a second.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Sorry to be late.
You all right? What's the story with the aged care not letting you have the computer?
What's the matter?
No, because you were late, and I think you said something about you being at the nursing care, and they refused you access to the computer.
Oh, thank you. No. Just had a buddy die of the C word tonight, so
Oh no!
that wasn't. That was what helped me up.
Well, not good.
oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry for that bad news, Papa.
Yeah. He was one of my onboards. Day 3 sacrificer. So thank you for your service. Those are some tokens that'll never see the light of day. Nice guy, really nice guy. It was a bit of a shock. Didn't hear from him since day 4, and yeah. So now that's that. But anyway, happy days, everybody. The Olympics are over. Yay!
Yay. Well, the floor is yours, Papa. Go ahead and fill us in on, other than what delayed you, but do you have any news for us other than that?
Well, what the next wave of people coming over for the Paralympic Games will launch on the 24th of this month. So we enjoy getting some nice visitors over here into our neck of the woods. And we had a typhoon that just skirted this big island of ours, and that's kind of a foreboding, beautiful, Mother Nature remarking on how much we deserve to have the Olympics. So let's do it again.
Yep.
How about you guys? How are you guys doing? What's with the elevator music in the background?
That's Uncle Kev in the back.
Who?
It's Uncle Kevin.
Uncle Kevin's on the piano.
Uncle Kevin on the piano.
Oh.
Yeah.
Middle class decided to change it up a little bit with lighten the mood up a little bit.
Ah, yes. It makes me want to push floor 14.
Floor 14? Is that the top level where you jump off, or?
Sure. It's the party floor where they say, "Welcome, party of 2, 4, 8. Right this way."
Right this way, that's it.
There's a little lounge for you, a little nice view, and get your, whiskey sour or what have you, refreshment, and you look at the beautiful hellscape of Tokyo and say, this is great.
What do you mean hellscape? Like, my thought is always, when you're always on the rooftop, always look down and look at the people crossing the roads, and then, and they follow the lights, and you're thinking, where are these people off to work?
So really, where is this music coming from? Who's the perpetrator of such interesting stuff?
Well, what do you mean where it's coming from? Like
Middle class.
It's
Middle
from
class.
Me.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it's kind of like a hangout mood going on.
Kind of. I brought something to drink with me as well. So.
Oh, very nice.
Something sweet, and yeah.
I'm drinking. Oh, there goes my premium.
Oh, very nice.
What is that?
Premier ginger ale.
Yeah, Premier ginger ale.
Nice.
Beautiful. Are you familiar with Paradise Iced Tea, the unsweetened variety?
Paradise
It
Iced Tea.
smells like perfume. It's amazing. It's like victory. Yep. So, did anybody catch that nice dippity doo earlier today? And I'm wanting to hear from Wales Only about what this means in terms of, the bull pennant and are we back in it, or did we? What's going on? I mean, this is like all exciting. I see that Melv Tony says we're back up to 12.4. This is good. But I mean, I'm a net buyer still. So how about you guys?
Yeah, I mean,
Still buying that.
definitely buy the dip. But yeah, I haven't made a move yet. But yeah, that's get it while it's low. I mean, yeah, take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, always. Cool. So wait, is Wales here or is he not? He's been on mute for a while.
Yeah,
Nah,
he had a little situation to take care of real quick. He'll be back.
All right. Cool. And how are you, middle class?
Yeah, all right. Not too bad. Just chilling with you guys every week. Just, a couple of friends having a great time every week. That's really it, isn't it? But no, there's not much of. Oh, actually, no, because Uncle couldn't join us today. I think I just received a message. He's got a bad headache. But Singapore is actually. I do want to represent him and say Singapore is actually having their birthday today. So I think it's a 56, if I'm not mistaken. So no one claps for that, Papa. Just so you know.
I've stopped clapping. I decided to be frozen there for a second.
Well, I'm gonna put out a challenge here for the chat. We need to get to over 100 likes, and I'll disclose some information about a guest for the Discord Syndicate Wake Up Hex show.
Oh,
So smash the likes.
Cool. That's good.
if there's going to be okay, all right. Is this the guest that you mentioned before in secret?
Yeah.
Nice. And this person has made time in their busy schedule to actually show up on the Wake Up Hex show?
Yep, I got a date set.
Oh my gosh. Will you be there to usher him in?
No, I think it's just going to be kinetics and I guess it's going to be one-on-one kinetics and the guest.
Very nice. Okay, good. Well done, man. You still got it.
Yeah. We'll disclose the name once we get above 100 likes on this show tonight. Thanks, chat.
Did you just say 100 likes? Because we've gone past 100 likes as we were talking, so that doesn't sound right.
Oh, it's past 100 now? Oh, wait, I have to
150.
refresh.
I'll give one more. It looks like 64 to me.
Oh, yeah, it says 64 on mine.
What? It's 157. What? What's going on?
No, likes, not viewing, not watching.
No, likes. This is what I'm looking at. It says, oh, hang on. No, hold on.
No. Those numbers mean something else.
70, 71. There we go. Okay.
71.
Okay.
Well,
So we need 29 more, and King is going to disclose.
Korean investors, thank you for the $20 super chat. People in crypto are in the crypto business. Crypto is autonomous products. We praise investors like Tesla, but for crypto, it's Satoshi and Richard Hart that are our revolutionaries. The monetary revolution. Right on, brother.
What
Thanks,
a
Corey.
generous donation to HexAsians somehow. That's very, very nice of you, Korean investor. That's beyond amazing. Revolutionaries, just in case you want to know, is not spelled that way. But for $20, I'll forgive it. So, is anybody else following this whole Senate bill that's being floated in Congress right now?
Well, I mean, I sent a link to Middle Class. It's a little article about. It looks like they didn't change the language. They're going to vote on it as is, and basically, hopefully, it doesn't pass the House.
Well, so is it confirmed? Because right now, I guess on the East Coast, the session is open, right? It's like 10:45 a.m. So they should be doing. So they decided that they were not going to debate further on any amendments. Is that what you heard? Is that what got the tweet about?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
That's unfortunate. Oh, I guess we move on to the next step of proving it unconstitutional or getting it, the
For
long,
good
arduous
level of
process of
enforcement.
getting it amended anyway.
Yeah, enforcing it is going to be the big challenge.
Well, I hope that
So
we can become brokers if that's what we have to be. Hopefully, they don't withhold the ability to become licensed in the states. What do you think, King? Because you're the only other American here other than Wales, but he has his own very impassioned opinions about how to report. So, what are you going to do?
yeah, I mean, I still need to get more details, and actually, yeah, I'd rather not.
It doesn't. Obviously, it makes a lot of people concerned because it's a sweeping policy with a lot of width and breadth in its ambiguity, which could affect basically anybody who transacts at all in crypto having to become a licensed broker of sorts. My only fear is that this whole broker's license will only be held. There'll be a very high bar, like accredited investors only can actually get this license, and they only give out a finite amount of licenses per year. They have a quota, and once that quota is met, you're out of luck. That would really suck if you depend on this for your living, and just by staking Hex or something like that, you have to jump through hoops. But I'm pretty confident that in the 2 years it'll take to actually get this thing rolling, that we'll be well on our way, and we'll have our own lobbyists and lawyers and all sorts of ways to interpret this law. And then, of course, there's the willful deceiving of the government that they'll have to prove as well. And I plan to pay taxes anyway, so maybe this is
Right.
a non-issue. Maybe it's not. I hope that the validators are not U.S. citizens for Pulse.
Yeah, that would help. But yeah, what was I going to say? It seems like they're trying to discourage people to try and live a better life with taking charge of their finances via crypto. It seems like they're trying to discourage that.
Sure, but Congress understands that the genie's been out of the bottle for 3 years now. People have really been doing this stuff, and tax reporting would assume that they've already shown their hand. And I think that they can't go back on that, because then it's a matter of constitutional law whether or not something that they've already deemed a taxable property can be taken away by force or prevented. Once you have it, you can't be taken. It can't be taken away from you for any way that they plan to finagle it. It just discourages innovation, is what I think is a problem. So
Middle class. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Papa. Go ahead.
We'll find other avenues, and all the money will definitely go into different markets outside of the United States. And once they see that they lost all that tax revenue that way, it's not a pay-for solution for this bill. In a couple of years, they'll say, "Where's all the revenue we were going to get from all these tax evaders?" Well, they're long gone. So,
what's up, guys?
Gary, what's going on, man?
Good to see everyone's commentary about this crypto policy that's being passed or considered and things like that. It's very, very interesting.
Please, we want to hear your opinion of this whole thing. What do you make of it?
Well, it's kind of the same narrative you hear a lot, is how much of the economy is above and how much is black market, right? The trade of anything. And if they want something to go underground and still be traded, then they enact policies like this, and they capture very small amounts of revenue. It's the same thing as when you had peer-to-peer music exchange on Napster. They try to fight it. They say, hey, here's laws, you're breaking rules and things like that, and we need to monetize our CD sales of music instead of having you trade it peer-to-peer. And then so all of that volume of music goes underground instead of becoming Apple iTunes. So they have all kinds of examples, and that this kind of policy, sweeping policy, doesn't in the long term work. It doesn't generate revenue. It doesn't attract capital to countries that are friendly to things, innovative, so it just pushes it outside the market. I don't know if everybody watched this thing that just Kathy Wood just made commentary about. Did you guys just watch that clip that she made about this particular topic?
No, I have not.
No.
Let me find it real fast. It was actually pretty useful. It's about a 3-minute clip. But yeah, continue your conversation. Just let me listen for a minute while I search this out.
Yeah, so Wales, you're in the 3 minutes that we're waiting for Gary to get his stuff up to speed. You just came off mute. What do you think?
I wasn't able to pay attention. Could you enlighten me as to what the topic is? Is it just this
Yeah.
nonsensical BS that they're trying to push through because they feel like it?
Well, look, so in the last 2 days, senators and lobbyists alike have come together, and there was hope that there was going to be a compromise. It seemed that there was a compromise yesterday that was reached. But it didn't.
It never seemed that way. It never seemed that way.
Yeah, I know.
That impression from.
I know. It could just be shadow play. However, at the last second, Schumer says, "You know what? Enough of this. 30-hour rule is going to be, in place, and you've reviewed it and you've debated it for 30 hours, and let's just fucking, let's vote on this shit." So it looks like that's the way that it went this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
even though the senators did supposedly come together and reach some kind of compromise, but it's too late. So what do you think?
Well, number one, you got to understand it's all a show. So they're gonna make it look as good as they can, so that the peons can believe what's going on. Number two, Ted Cruz magically came up with a bill yesterday or Saturday saying, "Hey, all this shit needs to be nullified," which is a correct action. The only action that should be working, because how in the fuck are you going to tax something you can't touch? Neither here nor there. Number three, how about we go back to travel money rules and how they're fucking invading the Fourth Amendment in the first place? How about we start there and kibosh this whole crypto shit, because they got it fucked up in the first place. And this is the problem. People are too busy focusing on the now when we still got bigger issues to deal with from the past. So stop playing yourself thinking that this needs to even happen. This needs to be completely kiboshed, because they can't do anything but put it on paper. That's all they can do. The only reason this fails is if people decide to comply with something that makes no sense. That's it. What are they going to do? Turn the internet off?
Here's a question. Do you think that I kind of thought about this today, and I was thinking that maybe this whole thing blows up in their face and it actually drives a whole bunch more interest to crypto.
You have to understand what this is. This is an all-out assault by Wall Street on crypto. And well, not even Wall Street, just the powers that be on crypto, because it allows people to become financially free. And they can't afford that. Very straightforward. It's very straightforward. So stop believing the show. There's a reason they threw everything plus the kitchen sink at it. It's to find a middle ground, to get the suckers to fucking come somewhere and say, yeah, we'll take that. No, we don't take anything. That's the right reply. Okay? That's what people need to understand. Submitting in any way is wrong, period. They're not out here to help you. Everybody spent, I don't know how many days calling all these fucking losers. For what? For what? They're going to do what they want to do because it's their game that we are playing. When are you people going to realize this? Jesus Christ, I made a whole freaking stream about it. Like, go watch the damn thing. Educate yourself. Stop placating to their show. It's just like engaging with these damn furus. It's no different. The more you allow it to exist, the more realer it becomes. It does not exist. Stop engaging with this fakeness and understand that it doesn't need to exist. That's it.
Okay, so I guess on the show we present extreme angles from every different side of every different debate. So I can see that. Let me just sum up your position, and that is, this was expected from the beginning. As soon as you saw it coming down, you knew the way it was going to end, and your answer to it is to simply not accept and just keep lobbying ahead and say, I will not accept anything in this bill.
Pretty
because
much.
I know that you can't enforce it.
They can't enforce it. What the fuck else are they gonna do? Say, oh, you must oblige? Okay, will do. Whatever, bro. Like, come on, man. We have bigger issues to tackle besides fake legislation that they're trying to psyop people into believing can be real.
Okay.
Because
So,
again, what
yeah.
happens? Oh, U.S. persons can't do this, can't do that. It's just like you have to understand, Pablo. I work in the international money space, so I understand a little bit more of what the fuck they're trying to do here than the average person, right? When people try to move money cross borders, it brings up all these ridiculous fucking rules that make no damn sense because it's your fucking money. It's your money. You understand that, right?
All right.
Like, I
Hold
hope
on a second.
everybody watching this shit understands it's your money.
Okay, so let me run a scenario and let me get your take because you are an authority on this type of thing. Let's say that in a year, Hex is worth considerably more than it is now, as it has been already. On a double and a double and a double and double.
Mhm.
So we're going on that trajectory. We know where it's going.
Mhm.
So when it's worth a tremendous amount,
Mhm.
and I want to cash out a little bit, I'm not going to pay attention to any thresholds. I'm not going to worry about having any kind of
And that's where you
license or
fuck up.
anything.
And that's where you fuck up, right?
What,
Because if you're gonna play in their system, you have to abide by their rules. It's very simple.
Okay. So I'm going to play in their system, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's say that I want to take out more than $2,500.
You better have an entity set up.
I better have what set up?
An entity set up.
Yeah, I have one.
Then you're good.
So my entity is going to be doing all. So it's all the entities' assets from now on, is what you're saying.
Yeah. As long as you have an entity, you're perfectly fine. I'm speaking specifically from an individual perspective.
Okay. So everyone should get their LLCs. Gary's here. He's an authority on setting that
He's
type
an
of thing
authority
up.
on that.
So we have like all the components that we need are basically represented here in this chat. And there's Gary. How you doing, Gary? Looking well, man.
What's going on, Gary?
I've got a shitty view.
Oh, terrible.
It's it's only the 47th floor.
Cry for me, Argentina.
Kind of fucked up,
Yeah.
But you should be multinational if you can be. I know Papa Boner can talk about those kinds of things. I can talk about those things. You should have. It costs almost nothing really to have at least a resident visa in a foreign country that's friendly to crypto. There's all kinds of things that someone, if you're starting out and I just threw $50 in this thing and it's worth $5,000, you're probably not in that concern level. Obviously, this conversation is about people that are looking long-term, looking at compounding of assets, something like Hex or products or real estate and things like that they already have as assets. And they say, hey, how can I conform? Like Papa Boner and I are very concerned with that. Mm-hmm. I do report things on my taxes because I have other assets that have nothing to do with crypto. I do have this mentality that I don't want my bank accounts closed because I go off grid, right? I don't want my banking relationships changed, right? Because I use those, which is other people's money effectively, to generate income off of Robert Kiyosaki kind of plans. That's the kind of stuff that I concern myself with, and I understand when Papa Boner throws these concerns into a cypherpunk originated kind of asset class product of crypto. And I do know that the same thing that Wales comments about is if you are participating and you're going back and forth between a fiat system to get onboarded and then you exit back out and you're going through all these regulatory processes, it's onerous, it's stifling, it's a threat that you did something wrong. It's a fear mongering kind of thing that our governments end up doing. If you don't tell us everything about every action that you've ever performed, you might go to jail, this thing that holds over your head, right? So I understand both perspectives. What happens in reality is it just goes black market, just like marijuana, just like prostitution, just like, any other thing. It goes underground, basically. But there are friendly countries that allow for crypto. They do want technology coming. They did see the 1990s of the tech boom blossom for America as far as its economic engine that the internet basically created. And
hold on a second, Gary. We're getting to some feedback. Somebody just turned on a fan or something. Can you guys mute us all or something while Gary's talking? Middle class.
I'm muted.
Yeah. No. It wasn't Gary.
I can't hear no more.
It's okay now. Yeah.
I think it might have been Gary then.
It might have been Gary. Okay.
It might be Will.
It was just like a high pitched wail, squeal. It was really weird.
Is it me? I don't know.
Probably. Hang on.
Let me mute myself. I'm gonna mute myself. Hold on.
Mute
I'm muting
everybody.
myself.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Was it me?
Not sure, but it's gone now.
Okay, not me then.
I
Cool.
can still hear.
Sorry
it.
about
Hang
that,
on.
Gary. Sorry to interrupt. It's just like it was really, really
I
terrible.
remember in 17, the beginning of 17, the idea was you're just putting money into the system, but everything's going to go full crypto within 18 months. Obviously, that didn't happen. We're not
That's
transacting in crypto. We're not buying and selling the things that we care about. We want the awesome, amazing gains of 5,000x, multiples, but we don't want to give up any of that newfound purchasing power. So I kind of understand both perspectives, and government is always going to be the laggard. It doesn't create anything. It simply follows the money, honestly. Where can it get a tax base?
Yep.
If it gets a tax base from the taxi industry, it supports and defends the taxi's perspective instead of Uber. If it gets it from the hotel industry or from where you can build as far as building zones and that compete somehow with existing tax base, then they're going to defend that. So they're always going to follow the money. I don't know who has the music, maybe some music. So it can go underground for a while until it basically has a bigger economic mass and still has buying power. Like who said it earlier? Have our own lobbyists. I think Papa said it earlier. When we get to a point when we get actually our own lobbyists, that makes a difference because you are money that is supporting it. And it's funny that we don't like the idea of transaction costs, but we should support the idea of buying politicians.
Yeah, that's not all of us. That's not all of us, Gary. That's not all of us. I don't stand on that same side at all.
I hear you.
In fact, I think people need to stop trying to play their game because that's the damn problem.
Yeah.
It's one thing to play within the system in order to survive. It's another thing to play within the system to continue to engage in it and not realize what actually needs to fucking happen. We now have an opportunity in front of us. Let's not squander it because our children and our grandchildren will freaking despise us for it.
Yeah.
Fact, not fiction.
Yeah. Wales, it resonates with me. Absolutely. And
look, we're all old enough to know what the hell is going on. Let's not act childish here.
Right. It resonates with me because I've heard these campaigns before with the gold and silver bug people.
Yeah, well, this is different.
And it's like Max Kaiser saying, buy silver and bankrupt JP Morgan, all that stuff that was going on like 7-8 years ago, right?
Yep.
How's that worked out? Because JP Morgan still has over 1 million ounces of physical silver.
But what happened, right? What happened with, well, see, that's the thing, right? It's their system in the first place.
Right.
So that doesn't matter. But from a crypto perspective or a promise coin space, perspective, what's happened is that the power struggle was lost long ago. And people just don't realize it. Once Blockstream came into the scene, that was it. There was no longer peer-to-peer cash. It was everything else. That's why the narrative changed. Mm-hmm. And people just choose to forget that. And that's okay. I'm going to remind them. Not my problem. Right?
Yep.
So we're here. We're number one. I don't intend on going anywhere. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to keep repeating myself as long as need be until people get their shit straight. Because if we don't take advantage of this opportunity now, then what the fuck? Yep. It doesn't matter how rich you get. It honestly isn't going to fucking matter. And that's the thing people have to realize. Because it's all going to be taken away from you. They already let you know. It wasn't a joke. You think they're joking, you sit back and watch and see how these lockdowns and all this fake shit gets worse. You sit back and watch. Sit back.
Yep. I mean, what we have is a bunch of corrupt regulators that are bought and paid for by the banks and the manipulators of the metals market, and they're never going to change that. They're never going to change that.
Again, yeah, it's their system. It's nonsensical to think you can win in their system. This is why I stopped being a gold bug, a metals bug. I stopped because I did the math. I wasn't seeing that. And until I really gave all this shit a good thought, thanks to Hex, right? Because the thing about it is Hex makes you realize there is real crypto. Look at what's happening. Look at what happens to Bitcoin, right? when some narrative changes, whatever the hell happens. That's not crypto, bro. That's not what this is supposed to be. That's just another function of a fucking stock market. That's just another reflection of some type of stock market, right? That's the reality. That's what that is. It's risk on, risk off, just like the rest of the fucking market. It's a joke, right? And that's a function of what they wanted. They beat Bitcoin already. And people don't want to understand that. They want to hold on to that. And that's fine. You know, sooner or later, you're going to have to learn what the reality is. But the worst thing that we can do as being the actual leaders of the crypto space and being the only crypto space is to allow ourselves to conform to their game. Because then what? What's the point of all of this? What's the point of talking all this shit? Who cares? It's pointless. So it's one thing to operate within it, to survive, to escape it. It's another thing to just do the same thing everybody else is doing. And I personally intend to not do that. So while I understand the past is the past, the future is not the future, because you don't know what it is.
So you're going to hold your breath. You're going to hold your breath. You're going to keep your crypto, and you're going to wait until you can trade it for goods and services.
Yeah, I mean, if possible, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that, again, I'm not trying to piss on the idea. I am trying to say
No. I understand what you're saying, Gary. I'm just speaking from my point of view.
And waiting that time out, you know, if I want to buy a car and have it titled, I still have to register it, right? I still have to pay.
Yep.
I have
still
to pay
playing in the system. Yeah.
How was it bought? It was bought with what was the sale price? It was you know, 2,000 hex. That's what I paid for it. It wasn't dollar, right? How did I buy the house? How did I buy
still playing within the system? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's these other things that try to, you know, work around it, like the spend your crypto kind of credit cards or, you know, subscription services, and they will basically pay the dollar amount or the fiat amount and then take some portion of your crypto based on the spot rate. That's what Monarch does. That's what other systems do. So I know everyone's trying to come up with a way to keep the mad gain element in a dollar purchasing power world, and
you can't, because they don't want you to have it. Sorry.
Right? Because you have to, if you're going to be peer to peer, and even with music, are we even peer to peer anymore? I play it all the time on YouTube.
No,
you know,
it's not peer to peer. It's on a centralized platform, right?
Yeah,
it's not. Nothing is peer to peer.
We don't even trade physical things. We don't even trade like data files as much as we used to.
No.
Like it used to be that you would download something from iTunes, you would download something from Napster. You would torrent something or whatever, right? Because you wanted to be peer-to-peer or decentralized or whatever the narrative might be. But now it's just so much easier just to go to Netflix and pay your $15 a month or Spotify or whatever it is that you're doing. I just play stuff on YouTube all the time whenever I'm in a car and just stream it out to Bluetooth to my car. So, yeah, we want the value and the mad gains of our speculative risk, right? We want that mad gain. But I still want to buy a house, and I still want to be able to sell that house in, 2 years to someone else. And I've got to say, what was my basis if I'm going to 1031 exchange? How much did I pay for it? Oh, I paid for it in crypto. Well, what's that worth now? Oh, that's worth $1 gazillion now because it's appreciated over the past 2 years. It's like, what the fuck, dude? The regulatory headache is going to be nightmare. I understand the crypto to crypto kind of perspective, but don't you think that when it is crypto to crypto, that is when there's 60% of the marketplace is participating? How much of the marketplace is really participating in a meaningful way in
None. Zero.
The dollar denominated assets in this world.
Zero. I say 0%.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that, because it's not their world. I mean, it's very simple. I don't know why this is complicated. If you keep participating in their arena, if you keep playing on their field, you have to play by their rules. So if you really want to institute change, right, it's not going to happen by playing their game. You have to create a new one and educate others, and it's not going to be something that happens overnight. But it has to be done, and we have the tool to do it, and that's crypto. And it'd be foolish of us to not take advantage of it. That's my message. I understand what you're saying, but again, learning to operate within the system as it exists is fun. But we have to move past that. Otherwise, what's the point of all of this? It's pointless.
So again, not taking away from your commentary, this is almost identical to Chris Duane of Silver Shield. If anybody is a silver or bug or gold bug for the past 10, 15 years, he used to put out, and he still puts out sometimes, but put out amazing videos about the Exter's pyramid and about the reversal, and don't participate in the system as it is, because this scarce resource of silver can change everything. And for a while, like a Max Kaiser or something like that, before he was a Bitcoin lunatic, was really a silver guy or something like that. So he use a resource, and rebels can basically coalesce around that resource and call it, here is the new replacement, and let's just be the early ones that basically start the revolution, right? That's the narrative Chris has been putting out there for a decade, over a decade, right? And again, reality is I'm fucking older. I don't want to fight that fight for 15 years and then spend my crypto.
That's my point, Gary. I'm with you, because you and I are almost the same age, and I'm not going to enter into another. I was a big gold bug before, and then I was like the whole Bitcoin thing, and now, years later, I'm ready to have Hex as my end. That's it. Hex and Pulse. I found it. I'm done. How do we work through this together? With somebody in our 50s, right, or late 40s, early 50s, that doesn't want to enter into the whole revolutionary thing again, because in 10 years our dicks aren't going to work anymore, and it won't matter anymore, right? I want to live my life now. I want to get my gains.
I said,
I want to get my gains.
When I'm my dick doesn't work, it's kind of over for me.
Right? Yeah, there you go. Right? No, I want to be able to afford the pump that you just kind of do this to, and
but Chris Duane is what? But Chris Duane is correct, though. His whole narrative about ending this corrupt fiat system is what we all should want. He's absolutely correct. But yeah, he's a one man fighting a huge battle.
I mean, I followed him. A lot of people followed him for, he would have 20, 30, 50,000 views over time. It'd be, hundreds of thousands of views. And it does help the narrative of what is our government doing that's with our permission and actually harmful to us. Because you're either in the United States, you're either a sheep because you're going to get sheared. They need your wool. It's your tax base, right? Or you're fucking dinner, right? They're going to consume you completely and say, okay, the wolf is at the door, right? So if you're going to be part of the society, I understand Wells is kind of like the off-grid prepper part of my family. Is like, hey, I don't need to conform. I'm going to be sovereign citizen, or I'm going to be coalesced with other people that say we're going to have an island of our own and declare it, our own rules and laws.
It's Gary, I live in New York City, bro. I'm not a prepper.
I've been working beautifully for 5 years. I take crypto gain, I roll it out temporarily, and when a run comes due, I buy real estate. I operate it for about 4 months. I show rent rolls to banks to say, look, this property I bought 4 months ago now generates this income. And then I get cash out refinance, and then I put it right back into Hex, and I stake it out longer to make up for that missed volatility. Hopefully I don't miss like a massive super swing, but I stake it out far enough to where I get my cash back. And that's basically diversification to me, because I'm in real estate. I'm in cash flowing asset that throws off based on what the economy does. If you buy real estate, I'm not saying that everyone should, but if you buy real estate and you finance it because you have good credit scores, or you run it through an entity that has good credit scores, then you can get about a 2.5%, maybe a 3% at the most kind of interest rate. And you are shorting the hyperinflating dollar. You are saying, I will pay back over the next 30 years, 20 or 30 years, cheaper dollar for me to get, because my rents are going to go up. I'm going to charge higher rent in 2 years when we hyperinflate, or as we go through this process. So I just like the system that I'm doing now, which is rotate a rung temporarily. And I'm still playing maybe the hybrid game of what crypto gains can do. And I document it. I decided to change my culture, change my life, change partially my language. I can't speak Spanish enough, but to relocate to a more friendly to crypto world. And that's where Puerto Rico is at the moment. And when it changes, if it changes, then I'll go to Malta, or I'll go to Ukraine, or I'll go to other countries that are, you know, they might be third world in some perspectives, but they're going to be more friendly because they're looking for a tax base, you know.
But didn't the U.S. prove in 2020 that they don't need any tax revenue?
Yeah, I mean, if you can print $6 trillion when you have about a $2 trillion per year tax revenue, and again, it will just, because what we really do, I mean, Wales can agree to this, I'm sure. We don't necessarily have the same inflation because we export all of our inflation. We export it to all the other countries, all the BRIC nations.
And look at how bad, and hold on, look at how bad it still is.
Right.
Even though we export about 90% of our inflation, seriously,
yeah.
About 90% of our inflation is exported. And people are choosing to play in their fucking system still and yet. Now, Gary, hold on. I need you to understand, I am not a prepper type. I live in New York City, brother. I'm a boy from the Bronx. I'm as city as it gets. I went into the military, learned how to grit my teeth properly there because I had to fucking survive. Because guess what? In the real world, nobody gives a fuck about you, Gary. You're doing what you're doing because that's what you know to do. Everybody doesn't know to do that. Everybody doesn't know how to become successful and play within the game. It's not a fair system. It's not. It's not a level playing field. And a lot of people don't realize that, right? And that's okay. That's fine. What's not fine is the people that do know better choosing to play within that system, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that it's controlled by bad actors. That, my friend, is wrong. That, my friend, is what I am talking about. And let me tell you another thing that you gentlemen must understand. There is no age for what's going on. There is no end date for what's going on. It's going to happen long after we are gone if we don't stop it. And that's the point. We have the tools to stop it. It's on us to want to. If we don't want to, then that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you got senior citizens that still have student debt loans that are getting their Social Security checks garnished.
Come on, bro. Like, let's wake up. Everybody isn't in the same boat, and that's okay. But what's not okay is opting to still let these random individuals that are clearly psychotic do what the fuck they want to do just because they feel like it. And that's what this is. We all have God-given rights, and we're not respecting them. Period. That's a fact. When you subvert yourself to this shit, that's what's actually happening. And again, I served in the military, brother. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it for accolades. I'm saying it because I know how to read, right? I know exactly what the fuck is supposed to be happening. I'm not confused at all. You see, I'm trying to provide clarity here. I'm not saying anything else. So it's very important that people understand it's okay to live within the system and try to survive within it. But we need to do better because nothing better is going to come. It's not going to be handed to you. It's not. You think they're going to just say, yeah, let's just improve this? No, they're not going to ever fucking say that. That's completely antithetical to exactly what they're trying to do, which is not that. Look at 2020. If 2020 hasn't showed you anything, then there just honestly is no helping you. Straight up. 2020 should let everybody know what the fuck needs to happen moving forward. And it's clearly not. It's clearly not. All this doubt that I'm hearing in people's speech is letting me know it's not. And we got to let that go. I understand. I know it's scary. I've been on the other side of the barrel. It's not cute. But guess what? It's going to get uglier if we don't stand the fuck up and just do not comply. You don't even have to get violent. That's the funny thing. It's very simple. It's a simple choice. Do you want your freedom or not?
Well, that was a miscalculation.
If you don't want your freedom, then continue complying with their system. Very simple. And the more people that choose to not comply, the easier it is for them to fail. It's very simple. We have the numbers. They do not. That simple. Straight up. It's a numbers game. They don't have it. We do. It's very simple.
Wait, hold on. I don't think you can ignore politics. You just you've gotta own it.
Yeah, you can.
That's my
Look
philosophy.
at what happened in Italy and France over the weekend. They just burned their fucking vaccine passports and shit. Yeah, you can. What do you mean? You choose to do what you want. It's your natural God-given right.
Okay, let's focus this, please, to Hex and Pulse.
This is Hex related, bro. You're not keeping anything. That's the whole point, man.
Hold on a second. I need concrete steps And often Gary provides these concrete steps. I need concrete steps to get rich, to do the right thing and stay out of jail and enjoy the rest of my life. Those are the only three things I care about right now.
Okay.
Can somebody tell me, Wales, I'll let you go first, but you got to freaking give me those three things, checkbox in order, else I'm not listening to you anymore, man. Give me those three things right now.
What's
Get
number
rich,
one?
stay out of jail,
You're already
and enjoy
rich.
my life.
You're already rich because you own
Already
Hex.
rich. All right.
Check.
Okay. And
check. In order to stay out of jail, it's not much
Yep.
choice you have in that matter. I'm sorry. Number 3.
okay, what does that mean?
You don't. If somebody wants to come and put you in jail, they can, bro. You don't control that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But tell me the best way to avoid having my wealth, staying out of jail, enjoying
Not
my
going
life.
outside.
No, don't go outside. Is that
Yeah.
your answer?
That's the best answer I can give you. That's
Okay,
the only surefire way to stay out of jail. I'm serious.
All right. Okay. So don't go outside. You stay out of jail.
I'm very serious. You're laughing.
And number 3, enjoy my life. I
Yeah,
can't enjoy my life staying indoors. So tell me the
Well,
last
I mean, I'm sorry, man.
And I'm sorry is the next answer. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Well, you
Gary,
can look at the Roger Veer route.
All right. Okay. All right. Hold on a second.
Well, yeah,
Gary,
you can become a black belt.
Hold on, Gary. I'd like to pose the same question to you. I want to get rich. I want to stay out of jail, and I want to enjoy my life. How can I do that right now, please? What's my road to those three things?
I'm opposite of Wales. I do want to declare that I had a cost basis. I do want to declare that I had a gain. I do want to have that written down through converting from one asset into another asset class, and I use real estate that way. I wanted to depreciate real estate. I mean, the idea that even on your taxes that you can take a $1 million property and then tell the government, and the government encourages you to depreciate it over 27 years, and it's because it's going down in value, right? While you know in reality it's going up in at least fiat terms, maybe not purchasing power, but at least it's going up in number, right? I like running things through entities. I like not owning anything myself. Even my Hex, I have Hex, but I have lawyers that basically are part of my multi-sig and part of my run rotation. So when a run comes due, I have capital available to me and I liquidate it. And then I liquidate it short enough to where I can buy a piece of property that I already have. I know that the run is going to come due in 2 months, 3 months. I start a search. I talk to the realtors. I narrow down the field. I figure out what my tenant base is going to be. And then when the run is due, I cash out. That's my plan. That's my strategy. And then I cash flow long enough to get my capital back and fully refinance and short the dollar. So that's my structure. That's my plan. And I am participating in the system. And I understand that it's antithetical to the idea of rebellion and crypto to crypto peer-to-peer exchanges. But, the value of me giving you $1 in a fiat system is I had $1, now you have $1. Where'd the gain come from? Right? If I have a crypto and I give you a crypto for a good or service, where'd the gain come from? So he's talking about, Wells is really talking about a normalized system where we just use a different token of account. That's really the only difference that Wales is talking about. He wants it to be a crypto system that has dollar characteristics because it's fungible. It can be anonymous. You can transact with cash to people and things like that. It's harder when you're carrying around briefcases and big numbers or whatever, unless you have different units. I guess a piece of paper that says this is $1 million bill. But you still have to account for the gain if you're going to participate in the society as it is. He's talking about transforming the society. I'm talking about the reality of my age and my interest, right? So I think I'm in Papa's camp when it comes to I'm going to comply, but I'm going to do it in a smarter way. I'm not going to go underground because I don't want to lose other things that go along with going underground. Banking relationships mean something to me, right? So I am colluding with the enemy, unfortunately, but it's led to a very rich life. So I care about my rich life.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the people that rebel in any kind of country as they go through their revolutions or they go through their throw off the shackles kind of process. You have to give up blood. It's not ideas. It's not politics. It's not I'm going to call into a phone number and make a change. You have to give up blood. You know, I was in the military too, special forces for several years. It's converted into cardiology as far as my 11 years, of military service, active duty, full time. And when I came in at 17, I was naive. I was patriotic. I came from Texas, and it's kind of a cultural thing to go into the service in general. And my first deployment was to Saudi Arabia, first Gulf War. I was within the first 500 people when Saddam invaded Kuwait, right? So I've seen some stuff. It wasn't, luckily, it wasn't as horrible as Vietnam or Korea or anything like that, because we really had a mechanized war. But I've seen people blown up. I've seen burnt up tanks. I've seen all kinds of death and destruction. And those people didn't even care about a political, they were basically just cannon fodder in the front. The people that really were killed in Kuwait and Saddam stuff, those are just poor people that were put on the front, right? There were not zealots, right? And neither were we, really. We're not zealots. We're just, America good. Let's go help this country that's being invaded of Kuwait. So I've served. And then I realized as I go through life, the economics behind why we have war. We did not give a shit about Rwanda having genocide and cutting people with machetes. We did not care at all. You know why? They didn't have any fucking resources. They didn't have anything in the ground that was worthwhile, right? But why have we had the longest war in American history in Afghanistan? It's because it has the largest concentration of lithium on the planet. It has nothing to do really with terrorism. It has to do with what resources are there that we can basically sequester we can grab during chaos. So I understand some of these things. Some of it is, and you can be verified and things like that, and it's not too conspiracy theory kind of concepts. And that's all, you know, it's the horrors of mankind, but it's also, why are you playing in a capitalist system in the first place? It is because you're putting capital at risk. You're putting your ideas, your labor, your time, your resources at risk for gain. And if you're going to play in a quote unquote capitalist system, you are part of that system. You're not living off grid and making your log cabin and straining fish out of the river. You're capitalist, right? So you're participating in that system. I'm going to participate in that system. I'm going to declare my gains. I'm going to do it through a legal entity that shields me from some kinds of liabilities and things like that. I'm going to hire professionals that deal in, you know, the people that I work with now in Puerto Rico have been working with crypto since 2012, almost exclusively, right? There's not a lot of other people in the world that have that experience. Even if a new country says, hey, we're going to be really crypto friendly, like what was this? It was in South America that accepts Bitcoin or something now, El Salvador or something. I don't think they have all the crypto experts. They just say, here's the rich people. We want to keep tabs on them and we will rob them later. That's my opinion about that. It's like registering your guns. It's like, this is where the people are that have guns. This is where the people are that have money. Let's get them first. So I'm not moving to El Salvador just because they have it as their currency.
Right.
Yeah. And influence matters. You're either going to, and money or dollar or fiat is just influence. It's just language. It's all it is. You're communicating, you're sharing a status, you're sharing a political climb. You know, you being able to influence someone by paying them, you know, 10 grand influences them. So can your words, you know, if you craft them well, right? So the power of the pen, right? It's all that stuff. So it's just language. And I want to continue that language inside the system I'm more familiar with and versed in. I don't want to go to another country. I don't want to renounce my citizenship. I don't want to, you know, move to some, you know, desert island where, you know, 7 other people are living with my same political views and we're all still looking for coconuts and bananas, you know. I don't want to do that shit.
And no doctors except for, you know, like something from Gilligan's Island with coconuts or something. I don't want that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, something that really kind of, and by the way, I I love whales here, but Gary, you're talking right at my age group and my level, and we're simpatico.
Mm-hmm.
But something interesting though that I want everybody to think about too, and this is a little bit off topic, but more to what Gary's talking about for real estate. My wife and I have this little, thing we do, and no, it's not bedroom talk that we're talking about here. We're talking about, we go on Zillow at night, we start to dream, shop for these massive, amazing gains type of mansions that we would love to be in someday. And everybody is a looky-loo basically, but nowadays you can do it on Zillow. So we go to all these beautiful coastal massive mansions, and I'm looking at them, and I keep thinking to myself, there's just endless amounts of 50 and 60 million dollar spreads. Some of them are on sale, and some of them are wrapped up in escrow. They're actually being sold right now. And I thought to myself, is this, Gary, do you think that all this capital, all this amount of wealth, is that just business entities swapping this marker around, or are these big high net worth individuals that are just saying, I would like to live there today? Which one is it?
The access to capital is ridiculous. The access to almost next to nothing free money is ridiculous. The closer you are to the tap and the spigot, the cheaper it is. But even if you are, so I just saw Kevin, meet Kevin. He's a very popular YouTuber. He's very similar. Yep. And he was just doing something, I think it was on Instagram, and he was in the Rolex in Los Angeles. He's in like this very posh area that has where the Rolex sales are. Rolex is sold out. They only have 3 left when he was making this, just out of the entire store that normally has like an inventory of about 200 or 300. They had 3 left, right? Is that because people are looking for opulence? No, it's because of what Richard says. In a world where there's so much this amount of money, people are looking for real things, right? And if a title to a real estate counts as real, I have ownership, I have title, right? And you can get leverage and you can finance it at less than 2% interest rate, right? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You're shorting the dollar. You are shorting the dollar. You're saying there's going to be more in the future. Now the trade is, now you have something anchored in the ground, and you become, you're kind of like that goat that has a stake and a leash, and is the T-Rex going to come and eat you? Like, because you can't put it in a backpack, you can't take it elsewhere. The beautiful thing about crypto, obviously, is you can get on a plane. Nobody knows that you have millions of dollars worth of access. They just don't know, right? You're hiding in the school of fish. And if you go to a place where you can exit that somehow into goods and services, whether it's peer-to-peer or not, if Wales has something that I want and he's willing to accept crypto, then sure, I'll go that route of peer-to-peer. But how do I find that, right? Maybe we should build a network of peer-to-peer sales points, and then that again becomes a target. So I don't know. I think the hyperinflating element is what's causing people to speculate on tangible items as holding value, right? Especially if they can cash flow or they can be traded for the future. Richard's watches have gone up in value, perceived value, probably not purchasing value.
Yeah. Well, my house I own is doubled in value, but it's still just, still the modest abode that it once was. It just now can get this hyperinflated amount for rent and hyperinflated amount everywhere else. But you're right about having the mortgage. My wife says, in the Japanese sense, why don't we pay the mortgage off? And I said, why would you ever lose that debt? Just milk it all the way through the rest of the last 12, 13 years it has to go, because this percentage rate is insanely low. And the rent is taking care of more than that. So we are living off of a great benefit now. Right. So I know what you're saying, and I think it makes sense. You have to play the system to be able to get into that too. You have to play with banks. There are a couple of brokers where you can buy with crypto, right? I mean, where does it? Let me ask you this: if you wanted to live in Wales world, and we all would like to, if we could, right, without any blood, sweat, and tears, but if you had to do a hybrid approach and you had to find a way to leverage your crypto to be able to play in real estate and play with the system that way, and then have more pull in the process and the rest of the system, how could you do that, Gary, right now? Are there brokers that you come in contact with that would take, crypto, or are there banks that would look at your hex gains and say, wow, this is something that I would lend on, or anything like that?
So I've been approached by that a bunch of times, actually, just as far as DM and Telegram. It's like, will you lend me this amount of cash for, me holding my own keys to my own crypto? I'm like, no, I wouldn't do that, because there's no government authority to back me up that says I have a claim. I would do. Are you still there?
Yeah,
about
it
you all right?
is it me? Is it me or is it Gary freezing? I can't tell.
So I think it's
Gary.
I don't know if
Gary,
I'm
I think
still
you're
frozen.
freezing a bit. No,
Am I
you're
still
okay now.
frozen?
You're okay now.
Oh, you're
Am I
fine.
frozen? Okay. So, so I don't have any. So the reason that I participate in a government at all, in a society at all, is because they're enforcing my laws of property ownership. Right? They're enforcing my laws. If I gave this to you and you held this other thing, but I have title to it, then the government is supposed to step in and say, no, that's really his car. That's really his property. There's going to be a legal and a court system, right? That system is what I'm effectively buying with my tax money and participation in that society. And so how does one lend against a crypto that you continue to hold the collateral? I don't know how to do that, right? You can send me X amount that's the value at spot of that moment, but I'm not going to lend spot. I'm not going to lend today's value because it drops and goes up 70 or 80%, right? So how does Celsius do it? Well, they make the profit center is liquidating the people that can't pay when there's a margin call, right? When crypto does do one of these massive dips, right? That's the only thing I can see doing. I wouldn't do it. I will not do. I mean, I would do it peer to peer, but I have to tell you this. So I did. Oh, let me think about this. So people know that I can get people about $150,000 to $200,000 if they have reasonable if they have reasonable credit scores. I can get them business credit. That business credit you can have between 9 to 15 months at 0% interest rate to do with what you want. You want to go to Vegas and put it all in black? You can do that. But if you don't pay it back, it's considered fraud and you can go to jail because Bank of America wants their money back. So does Chase, so does Wells Fargo, so does every big bank that I end up getting funds from, right, for clients. And back in 2019 or maybe very beginning of 2020, I said something. I was like, "Hey, if I'm going to do this, I normally will charge like $4,500 to do this negotiation, and I've spent like dozens, if not 100 hours, to negotiate on the behalf of an individual client to get them money, basically. And then they have a free window where it's 0% interest rate, and then at the end of the interest rate, it's business credit cards, right? Set up the entity. I can set up their entity. I can make sure that their personal credit is transmuted over to their new entity credit that has no merchant accounts, has no products to sell, has no services that are done, has no cash flow, but I can get them the capital. And when they get the capital, they do with it what they want. If they speculate on something, that's on them. If it wins, great. If it doesn't, they still have the debt. They still have the business credit debt. Now it's unsecured. It's not collateralized. It will become a high interest rate. It'll become between 12 to 18% interest rate, just like any credit card does. Any promo period is over. And they can walk away from it if they have to, and it will suffer. Their credit score will suffer, right? That's their risk, is that their credit score will suffer. Now, I made an offer and said, hey, I like Hex so much. If you want to pay me in Hex, I'll give you a 30% discount, right?
30%. Wow.
30%, right? From the spot value, whatever the spot value is when you want to sign a contract and we start this process for you, 30%, you can pay me in cash. You can pay me in credit card. I'll merchant process it, and it'll be your credit card, and I'll do a process against it, right? Just like buying anything else. You can write me a check. You can do any way you want to pay in dollar, or you can pay in Hex. And I love Hex so much. I think it's actually 35% off. 35% off. I think I said 30% if it was Ethereum, 35% if it was Hex, and it was like 15% if it was Bitcoin. So I was just discounting based on what my belief system was. And I had to pay my negotiators. I have a pool of 13 negotiators in Florida that do these things for me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take you on Hex, and they paid me in Hex. People know I did the same thing with my rents. I had a cash flow rents, and I gave people discount. They were paying my rent for years inside of a sixplex, and I said, hey, if you want to get a 20% discount, you need to learn about Hex, buy Hex, and pay me in Hex, and you can get a discount off your rent, right? And I did that for years before Hex was big, right? And now, honestly, because it worked out, these people are a little upset with me. They're like, hey, if I kept that Hex, it would be worth, 30 grand. What the fuck?
Whoops.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been worth 30 grand, but I took the speculative risk. You did not.
Well, but the other way to look at it is, hey, you paid me in dollars and now it's worth nothing. So it's the same deal, right?
Well,
That's why I wanted it. You could have been giving me gold nuggets and it would have only been losing 10%.
Right. So the peer-to-peer world that Wales talks about is great when you can actually transact as a merchant in it. When you can say, I'm going to buy inventory. It's going to take 45 days for it to arrive to the warehouse from China. And now I'm going to ship it to you. And now you've got that product that you paid for me in crypto, right? That's the challenge about it, because it is so volatile as a instrument for a merchant account. You really can't take the risk. You have to say, you're going to pay 4 times as much because you're using crypto, or and even when you see these places like Peter Schiff and Gold Money and things like that say that they accept crypto for gold, they liquidate basically the same day. They're not trying not to play the volatility game. They're not holding it. Even Overstock went out of business, or the guy that had Overstock. I think, is Overstock still a company anymore? I don't remember. But the founder of Overstock was a big Bitcoin maxi for a long time, and he was accepting for his products, you could pay in Bitcoin. And when it goes down, he loses, and when it goes up, he would win. But the volatility is too hard to transact in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I have some people that are, they're pretty significant now. One of them, I don't want to share too much, but they put because they're anonymous, they put $8 million into Pulse. Into the Pulse sacrifice. So they're big now, right? And they were frustrated with me before Hex got big, because they're like, hey man, I should have held on to that Hex. I was like, yeah, but we're friends, right? so
wow.
Right, you got I don't have an $8 million stake in Pulse. You do, so we're still friends, right?
Yeah.
True. He's still winning.
Yeah.
So Gary, are you still moving ahead with the Hex University concept?
That's why I'm in Miami right now. So this is Miami. I'm looking. I have maybe 12 or 13 real estate appointments set up. I'm here for the next 3 weeks. If anybody that's known to me, if you're known to me, you're invited to come stay with me and look at these properties with me. Franklin St. Hex is going to do it. I think Kurkowski is going to do it. Some other people are going to rotate down here. I have an extra bedroom. So it's like an extra bedrooms I'm in right now.
Wait. Extra bedroom, right? Not just an extra side of that bed that we just saw, right? Please say yes.
No, extra bedroom. I'm on the other side.
Oh,
this is just something I'm Airbnb-ing. I just got something Airbnb to be nice while I'm here. But yeah, I'm here until the 30th. And I have a lot of different places to look at. It's going to be a little bit of dream building for people also. So I'll film places, even if it's not really a good eligible candidate. And then I'm gonna have a separate Telegram room that I'll set up for people that either want to be participants as far as owners, and we'll make a consensus decision. I have meetings with lawyers already set up for setting up the LLC, which is basically individuals that want to be LLC members will pre-fund the LLC. And then that LLC has buying power to commit to contract. Once we have pre-selected and said, okay, 6 out of the 8 of us like this particular property, you will have something like a 80% decision, then the LLC will buy that property. And then once it's bought, at least as far as under contract, since we're going to be a cash position, we'll be buying cash, then it should close within 10 days, 15 days or something like that, to where we can have keys and put in the audiovisual equipment and stuff like that needs to be there, furnish it and so forth. People right now are already working on the curriculums as far as the people like Mark Moss, and I've already got commitments from Jason Hartman and other people that are kind of celebrity in the outside of crypto worlds too. George Gammon and others aren't going to commit until basically we have the website up, both of what we're going to do, plus Hex convention that Discourse is working on, stuff like that, right? So I'm trying to get, name speakers that are nothing to do with crypto. Like if I can get a pretty enough website, and we're really going to move forward with what Kinetics and RG3 are planning, then I can probably get a Kiyosaki on stage, things like that. So I'm working on those angles. But as far as the real estate, it looks like it's going to be a go. The challenge with the real estate is, because I'm going to be tapping markets that are not just Hex and Pulse and crypto centric only. Digital nomads like this kind of thing. People want, there's all kinds of people that have revenue they generate from e-commerce. They're, some of my friends are pretty significant influencers in Amazon FBA and things like that. Like they've been running, Gary Vaynerchuk and stuff like that are their friends and stuff. So I think I can get more participants in the Miami site as an education center and a lifestyle display, status display kind of center. I think it'll work well. We'll see how it goes.
Cool.
But yeah, the view's bomb. I mean, this is the area I'm trying to be in.
Beautiful.
At night it looks really pretty. But I think I want to have like a house instead of like a nice condo thing.
Well, I'm gonna break in here, and we achieved 140 on the likes, so I'm gonna go ahead and announce what I promised I was gonna announce when we got over 100. So coming to the Discord Syndicate Wake Up Hex with Kinetics show. Right now it's set for the 24th of August. We are gonna have former Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney on the show.
Oh wow, that's great. How did you pull that one?
Stuff.
I've been communicating with her for several months, and she's a very busy woman, and she's finally found time to go ahead and jump on board. I wish she would have did it earlier. I was way before the sacrifice phase, way before Hex went to beyond 2 cents. I was trying to hey, let's get you, but she was just too busy. But she's committed now. 24 August, Kinetics, Wake Up Hex. Don't miss it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Boom.
Yep.
So I just want to be clear, Gary. Just to piggyback on a couple of things you were touching on. I'm not about like politics, right? I'm just about like human rights and what's right and what's wrong. That's all. I just want to make that clear. I'm not about prepping out, bugging out, all that craziness. I'm just talking about very simple human rights, bro. Like our rights are trampled on daily.
Absolutely.
No matter what you do, how successful you are, that's just a fact. And that's because we simply allow it. So my question and my proposition to society is, are we just going to continue to allow ourselves to get trampled on just because we clearly know it's happening? Or are we just going to allow them to do whatever they want because they continually do that? And that's my point. It's not about anything else. I'm not trying to be rebellious. I'm about not complying with their nonsense. How are you going to enforce anything that they're trying to enforce or trying to put on paper? Excuse me. Pretty much can't. It's all a psyop. I mean, they just slapped Polynex with the SEC just slapped Polynex with a $10 million fine. For what? For what? What exactly? What law did they break exactly? Enlighten me. I would love to know. See, and these are the things I'm talking about. It's about the games that they play and how we allow them to play it. That's the issue at hand. And that's what people need to understand. It's not about rebellion. No. It's about getting them to play the game correctly because they play their game and we let them. That's the issue. And that's what people need to understand. Very simply. Nobody's being rebellious here. You either like being treated like a human being or you like being treated like chattel. Up to you. I know what I like, and that's my whole demeanor. That's my whole proposition. I speak from that vantage point at all times. That's all.
Yep. Yeah, speaking of that, it's I just saw breaking news of something that basically what Wells is talking about. The BBC studios have been stormed Just go look at the story. You'll see the reason why they stormed BBC studios.
Where in UK or
Yep.
storm the who? Huh?
I didn't even know that because I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, it's on RT.com, breaking news.
You mean like Russia Today RT?
Yeah.
No, like RT.
Yeah, like in Russia Today RT.
Yeah, you won't hear that in Western news, that's for sure. They don't want you
No.
to know
Yeah.
that's going on.
There you go. There you go. Similar to what
Curious.
Wells was talking about. Enough is enough.
Up to you. Entirely up to you.
But when
You can
it
stop it now, or
when
you
you
can just
have,
let it continue.
you know, it comes down to actual blood, though. I mean, I these things.
Hey
go
man,
when
I
they go-
feel you, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just take it, just cause it's fun? I'm
saying
sorry,
the
but I just have to
reality is-
disagree, bro.
Reality is society's changed when there's treasure lost, and that's often blood.
Yeah, well, what's been lost over the past 20 years? Everything from financial freedom to basic human freedoms. That's what's been lost over the past 20 years. That's what I've seen in my adult life. I'm only 36. This is what I've seen in the past 20 years. Everything eroded. Everything. That's not okay with me. Pretty simple. And that's always going to be my message as long as I have a platform. Not okay with me. I could talk exactly like you if I wanted to, bro. No value in that for me because we're way past that point. Anybody can form an LLC and play these games. It's on paper. All you got to do is read. It's on paper. So, you know, I think it's smart to play the game that way for sure because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you can't escape or affect change. But I think if any community has an opportunity to affect change, it's probably us. And as much as it sucks, somebody has to do it. They're not going to. And that's a sad fact.
I was at an event. It was actually in Miami, like with crypto coffee, like a month and a half ago, or whatever. And one of the panelists is a big gold bug, and what she had said was, you know, I don't want to buy regular gold like bullion standard gold. I want to buy these ones that are pre 1933 because that's what the politicians buy. I was like, so you're anti-politician, but you want to buy the things that they're buying because you know the laws are based in their are in their favor in the first place. So it's a difficult thing to navigate, right? Especially when you have multiple decades of experience under your belt. You say, okay, this is how I thought when I was 17. This is how I thought when I was 27. This is how I thought when I was 37. This is how I thought when I was 47. I'm actually 50. So so you have these experiences and you create biases and you say, you know, how horrible has it been? I've lived in a car for months at a time. I was married to someone that her father was a very successful inside of Disney, extremely high. And so I've been around like wealth and I've been in the military. We're all poor and eating MREs in a fucking hole in the desert, you know, for 9 months. I was like, okay, this is fun.
Not really, but yeah.
So you say, you know, it just becomes the character creating experiences, right? And that's what we all represent, different characters, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the experiences define you for sure. And again, my experiences are very specific, right, to me and what I've lived through. And I get that. But at the same time, I'm speaking to things that happen to everybody, not just to me.
Yeah.
And I think everybody can agree with that.
And the New York experience is also, it accelerates your understanding. You say, okay, I can be super nice, but also then people that aren't so super nice.
They trample you.
They trample you.
They fucking trample you. There's no two ways about it. They trample you.
Right.
Period. They don't care. Nobody cares.
These are the same people you're trying to unlock from the fetters.
Yeah. They will fuck you up. They don't give a shit. You got to watch your P's and Q's out here. And if you don't, they're going to get you. And yo, let me tell you, they told you they're coming. and they're doing it. They're doing it. That's what those reverse repos are all about. That's what pulling personal credit is all about. It starts one step at a time so that you do not notice. Do not take their actions lightly. Speaking from experience, this is the same shit I saw when I first got into finance. One thing, then the other, then crack. The world almost ended. It's on you where you want to stand when that happens again, because it's coming. They already told you. There's a reason the stock market is going parabolic. It's not because they want you to get rich, because you're actually not getting rich.
Well, real estate is going up.
What isn't going up? That's the question.
Is going up. Ferraris are going up. Anything that people that have assets they can roll out of almost zero cost.
Correct.
You know, fiat, because they're closer to the spigot, right?
Collectibles, for example, big bubble.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're talking about. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And what usually precedes a major collapse of the market? All-time highs.
Always. Same thing in March 2000. Same thing in March 2006, July 2007. Same thing.
It's 100% certainty. Whenever we're in this type of environment, collapse is right around the corner.
Yeah, and again, man, it's not about going full rogue. It's about holding people accountable for their actions. These are people. They're not omnipotent gods. They are persons. They put on their pants like you. They take a shit like you. They bleed like you. They do everything like you. They're no different than you and me. They're random individuals that decide how crappy your life is going to be. And over the past 20 plus years, they've decided to make it crappier daily. You can believe that's going to stop someday if you want. I advise you to take the other side of that trade, because that's the reality of what's going on. The trend is not going to stop just because you think it's going to. Just not. And that's really my message, right? That's my message. Everybody's been so laid back for so long. And I mean, New York is a perfect example. New York is no longer New York. It's trash. It's an embarrassment relative to what it was. You can't even come over here and be assured you're going to get a good meal anymore. That was standard, common. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now you really don't know what you're going to get when you walk into a restaurant. That's a shame. Never, ever existed until after the year 2010. And that's a function of society and what we allow. And that's a function of what level of responsibility we want to have. And people just don't want to accept that. But that's the case, man. The life you live is a life you allow. And it's the same for me. My life hasn't been, rainbows either. Everybody has the same life because that is what they allow. Your life is based on your decisions, right? Nobody else's. So things will continue this way because people will continue to allow individuals to dictate how they live. And if that's what people want, then so be it. But I will continue to educate, and that's all I can do, because I cannot stand that idea. Not for me, not for any kids that I have, not for anybody, because I care about humans and how we live, and we can live better than this. I know that for a fact.
I think the whole problem with the restaurants is a little bit, and we can explore that another day. But I think it's a function of the bottom line for the restaurants, the overhead, the hyperinflation, the ability to get all their materials and they can pre-source all their materials pre-cooked and pre-packaged out of Singapore, and it comes to your door. Same problem in France and same problem in Italy. They had to try to keep the bottom line, and next thing you know, people are like, wait a minute, this food tastes like crap, and it still costs the same. And now they have that little seal in France that says this is a home cooked at the establishment, and then you have a whole licensing of that whole thing, and as a backlash that whole thing. So why not New York? Why doesn't New York say baked on premises with all fresh ingredients? Why not? That's the next step, right? It's going to happen. If you can't go to New York and get a good meal, that's a big problem for the U.S., right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's a big tourist draw.
Yeah, but that's the reality. Go to any tourist area in New York. What you're gonna get sold is some commercial crap.
Oh,
It's
no.
no longer quality food. It's just
Like-
commercial crap. It's
it's
just
like
like anywhere else.
Airplane food, basically.
Might as well be. I mean, it's just like anywhere else,
That's
right?
sad.
You're gonna go to any restaurant that you see that's a chain, and that's what you're gonna find. That's not New York. That's not New York, bro. It's not, right? And that's just to compare the degradation that we've seen in American society, and not just America, really just worldwide. Because when I was in Germany, it was a free, beautiful place. No longer the case. Look at Australia now. Look at Japan now. Like everything has a single trend, and it is not up. I don't know why this is so hard for people to see. I honestly don't know, because that's what I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to rebellion. I'm speaking to desire. What do we want for our lives? I don't want this anymore. I'm tired of this. Just people saying, yeah, you're going to fucking do this and you're going to do that. Okay. No, it's not okay. It's never been okay. Why is it still okay? I don't get it. Don't get it. That's all I'm saying. I think we can do better. I think we are better. That's all.
One element that's this conversion. So I'm considering to buy a place in Colombia, in Medellin, not related to the hex stuff. And in order to do that, you have to bring your dollars through Banco Colombia, and they charge like 3%, I think, to convert it into the local currency, right? To normalize it, to say that it came from a legitimate source in the United States. So they basically do a background check to make sure that the money has been in your home country bank for, I think, 3 months, or something like that, before you can do it. And then it normalizes it so that you can use it to purchase property. And there's so much rent seeking and slippage and conversion costs and things like that that we either recognize or don't recognize all the time, especially if you deal internationally, right? So you are, I think one of the threats of crypto is also the borderless element, because every time you get off an airport in a new country, you're converting your physical dollar or whatever, you're buying the local currency or whatever to transact, or you're using your debit card and credit card and it's just built into the transaction. But there's this conversion cost, right? What's it cost to go from peso to dollar or yen or whatever other currency you're dealing with? That's one of the things that's also roadblock, or at least gatekeeping crypto's growth, I think, because back in 2017, when I was all excited about crypto, at the time I had placed a team that was not my team, but I was running a startup accelerator, basically just housing for startup desire people, 15 to 20 people in a house in Palo Alto, basically. And they would say things like, hey, I'm going to go to Bali with my co-founder, and I want to rent this hostel and we're going to work on our app. Or they would say things like, and we want to go to Medellin, which is another hotspot for digital nomadism. Chiang Mai, Thailand, these are places where people are trying to work from their laptop and build, click funnels and sales points and things like that, for their companies. And so I got excited initially when I first heard about it, because one of my tenants is who told me more about like what was going on. I think the first one I went to was in Santa Monica, and it was just the first Santa Monica crypto something. And I met, Alex Mashinsky was there at a little tiny booth with a pop-out table talking about this product or whatever. Other people were making their ICO pitches and stuff like that, right? And it was interesting, and I was excited about it because I thought about the borderless thing first. I was like, oh, I can set up this property and they won't have to have the conversion costs. They won't have to go to, they can go to the Cancun resort. They can go to the so-and-so and never get out of their base purchasing power token, whatever that is, right? Maybe it's Bitcoin, maybe it's Ethereum, maybe it's some other thing that just becomes the stable. Why is there such a demand for Tether? It may not all be trading. It actually is a lot of money movement. Is why people are doing these things too, right? They move out of some currencies or some countries into other countries using Tether. They're not even trying to speculate. So that was my excitement then. I don't know if we've made a lot of progress in that front in 4 years. Have we? Is it really that the peer-to-peer narrative is even part of crypto anymore? Because I don't hear this.
No, it's been taken over by rules, man.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. Everybody has this misconceived notion of crypto being something other than what it's supposed to be. And all of it has left, in the rear view what it was supposed to become.
Mm-hmm.
And Hex is just the closest representation of that, with an additional layer of utility, which is value creation. And that's why it's so superior in so many ways, because not only is it a real crypto, but it also pays you to do the right thing, which is invest in your future.
Right.
Right. Which is hard to do for most people, but, some people can achieve.
Yeah. I love the alignment of incentives. And that's one of the big things about why I participate so much in Hex specifically. Other ones were just speculative. Initially, I was drawn in with the borderless idea. It's like, oh, okay. I it's such a pain in the ass. At the time in 2017, I had employees in Kiev that would do like the graphic design stuff for me and things like that. And they're super cheap. They're highly, highly educated in graphic design and video editing and all these things. But you can get a good editor that's easy to work with, speaks English, and all these other kinds of things. Living in Kiev at the time in 2017 was pretty nice. And they were like $400, maybe $500 per month would be their cost.
Hey, Gary, on the chat and Wales, this is very interesting. Philippe Mendonça, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. He's also pointing out Madeira Island, Portugal, has digital nomad spots too.
Familiar.
Yeah, what do you know? The island that we found. Madeira. What do you think of Madeira, Gary?
Is this crypto friendly? I'm not familiar. I know Portugal.
Yeah,
so
Portugal.
It's a Portuguese island.
Currently crypto friendly. It still is part of the EU. Let's be cognizant of that.
Yeah. But it's a Portuguese island. It's Funchal is the main town, I guess, in Madeira. And it's a very interesting place. It looks like the playground of the rich and famous to be in crypto, as far as what Wales and I thought.
I forgot the name of the company, but also I saw an ICO. It's not even ICO. Yeah, ICO, and it got some traction, and they were buying land in the deserts of California and going to make this utopia of only crypto to crypto transactions. I was like, I wonder who's living in the deserts of California, but okay.
Hey,
wasn't
Wales.
there supposed to be? Yeah.
Wales, I wanted to touch before it gets too late. I really wanted to know what you thought of the chart on the on the daily and the 4 hour.
Okay, let's take a look. It looks the same, man. It's just bull flagging, bro. It's just it's just being kept in place. So a bull flag is a consolidation that happens after an up move, right? It's not a down move. It's a consolidation. So what do I mean? What I mean is that the move that just happened is never invalidated, right? Like anytime Hex moves up, it's that the price never retraces fully. It just goes down a portion and then it just consolidates and then it rolls back up again. So unless somebody comes in and literally sells a shit ton of Hex, it's just going to keep doing this because people are always buying it, right? People are always buying Hex. So a sell event is rare. And when it happens in size like you saw yesterday, right, you can only conclude one of three things. Either the person is ignorant, person is nefarious in their dealings of selling Hex in that quantity where you can clearly see what the slippage size is going to be, right? So you're going to affect the market negatively because you're going to get less. Or they just honestly are dumb. Like I don't know what else to think. Like it's one of those three things, because why would you do that? Why would you give money away? Right? Just to make the price go down so it looks some type of way. Right? So the chart's just consolidating. That's all that Hex does, because again, it's something that isn't, it's a productive asset. It's hard to sell a productive asset. So when something's constantly creating value, how can it realistically go down? I mean, it's a gimme. Like, look at those dips. Anytime they happen, they disappear. There's a reason for that, right? So I think that's important to keep at the front of your mind if you own Hex and you don't really understand what's going on, or you're new, because a lot of us have been around for a while, so this is nothing, right? But for a lot of people, this can be daunting, looking at this price action, not understanding why so many sales are happening, because it's not normal. And it looks different in Hex versus the rest of the promise coin space, because it's not as fluid, because you don't have that much capital running through the system, because it's truly decentralized peer-to-peer. The transactions that you're seeing are real, right? They're not happening on a centralized exchange. They're not being pumped and all of those things. So it's a little different all the way around. And that's why it looks how it does, right? And that's just a function of its design as well, right? Like, all of these things coalesce into one picture. And that picture is just run up, bull flag, run up, bull flag, run up, bull flag. And it's just hard to not see. I mean, people really got to come out and sell. Like, if this is not going to continue to do what it's done, like, it just needs some serious selling. Like, that's just, what it's going to take. So until that happens, it's just going to stay in place. Not to say that it can't, right? Because it can be sold, but that requires a decision to sell an actual productive asset and give your position away in that ecosystem to others. That's a decision you have to make. It's a real one. It's not a light one. I mean, there's a reason I staked my T-shares for 15 years. Mm-hmm. Not because it was the cheapest thing to do at the time. It's because that's what makes sense. Right? Just mathematically, right? Just in terms of people that like to be competitive or whatever, right? You want to win the game, you got to hold on the longest. That's the only way to win in this ecosystem. If you want to get rich or build generational type wealth, well, the only way to do that is by holding on as long as possible in this system, right? And fiat only goes one way. So if we're still living in this fiat system for some ungodly reason in the next 15 years, then you're good. You can't lose, because fiat's going to blow up. It's at the end. Mm-hmm. It's been 50 years already. How long can fiat be fiat? Not that long. It's 10 years past its due. And it's only because they're printing in reserve currency status. If it wasn't a reserve currency, it looked just like Brazil, Argentina, Chile, whoever else, Weimar, whatever. It's the acceptance of trash that allows it to continue to permeate. And that's what people have to understand. It's accepted. So until it's no longer accepted, it's going to continue.
That's
hard to defeat that.
That's why people are trading into physical things. And again, you want, it's almost like we want the currency to go ahead and fail, but you don't want the government to go ahead and fail, because they're reinforcing your rights other than people bashing in your door and taking your property. That's what happened in Vietnam, right? So Vietnam,
rocking in a hard place.
Right. There's all kinds of people that left behind everything that they had because their system or their societies became too onerous or dangerous. Don't you guys already make commentary about why it's? Here's an interesting thing. Pulse, if you believe in a strong-handed whale narrative, the most Pulse that can ever be sold is 5%. Have you, between, I think 700 million and 14 billion is only 5% of Pulse can ever be sold.
Let's confirm that real quick for you, Gary.
Well, hold on a second. We also have rewards to validators as well,
yes,
which was 2%, right?
It's an exact number. If it's 700 million and whatever the number was, I think it's.
Yeah, but you forgot the percentages for the validators rewards. That's another 2%.
Oh, okay.
So I think it equals total would be 10%.
Validator rewards. So
all the stuff, validator rewards, possible overflow from the amounts that are going to be required to buy and equalize the pools. There may be a bit of overflow that finds its way into the market.
So
who knows, right?
I hear what you're saying, but I'm not saying this in a negative way. Don't you think that delegating some of the 95% of pulse that you have to validators is still, whether it's a revenue center or not, it's still in the closed system, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. No,
That is
I know what you're
true.
saying. I think it's good.
Yeah, because you're going to have people that say, I want to be a validator, and they can appeal to the 5% of pulse volume, which is us, or they can appeal to the 95% person or entity to delegate to them. So
You got to do something.
So yeah, again, enforce the good actor kind of ecosystem. But it's interesting to be an owner of something that, at least in belief, 95% won't go to market.
Yeah, it's a feature, not a bug.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Good stewards.
And you wonder why all the chats, I suppose with all the plebs going like, oh, how's this good? We feel cheated, blah, blah, blah. Well, welcome to Hex/Pulse. So.
It's there was a question in the chat asking if it's too early or too late to get into Hex with a little amount. Yeah, and I think we were talking about this maybe before we even went live. It's never too late to get into Hex, because if you come in with $100, $1,000, $10,000, right, that you're gonna have a share of the system with respect to that. But here's the cool thing. Nothing in the system is going to change as far as how it works, because the system is still going to pay you out how the system is designed to pay out, right? So while some systems will vary their APY payout based on supply and demand, Hex doesn't work like that. That nexus of the system is completely separated from the price activity. What you earn in terms of yield is a function of the system's design and how the APY is actually paid out, right? Most systems are closed to the point that what they're doing is taking from others to pay out. This is not what happens in the Hex system. Hex system pays out based on the inflation that the system creates by design, because it's a bonding curve design token, coin, whatever you want to call it. So you have the ability to burn the coin for T-shares and the ability to burn more than you burned initially when you're swapping out T-shares back into Hex. So this is why Hex is a bonding curve design, because it provides a very unique functional utility. And that's based on T-shares providing value and being designed to work a certain way, right? But with that, the way the system pays out yield is separate, right? It's based on the supply that the system is designed to have and how much of that supply is actually staked. So if there's a big rush into Hex and half of the supply is staked, half of the circulating supply now, that means we're down to 50%. So that means half of 369%. Because if nobody stakes, that's the max that the 1% earns, right? Now, if it's 100% staked, you go all the way down to 3.69%, because that is what the system is designed to pay out. So when the system was first created, that was it. It was done. So the APY is fluctuating based on that. So while more coins are minted into the system, some are also burned out of the system, right? Because you're creating T-shares all the time. We see stakes enter the system every day. So this is how the system doesn't become overbloated with supply, because it's designed to do something specific, right? So the more people understand the system, there's a high possibility that the APY might be reduced based on that understanding. But for now, you're getting that high yield. So take advantage of it, regardless of dollar amount. Just make sure that the fees are respectable, because you don't want to be giving a big portion of your position away either to the middleman. So that's a long way of saying you're never too late.
Yeah, I also mentioned what Chega brought up is for the new people that are getting into Hex.
True story.
Before the snapshot, whatever you put on the eHex side, the current system, once Pulsechain comes online, you're going to get a copy of your Hex, whether it's liquid or staked. on the Pulsechain. So that's another.
Yeah, that's major, man. I can't wait. That's gonna be like a watershed event for me. Talk about doubling your T-shares and not having to do a thing. Come on, man. Shit. How could you not be happy with that? You know, that's crazy. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. So yeah, definitely don't be shy. Step up to the plate. There's nothing better like real life experience. So come learn about Hex, ask questions. We're here to answer. We're not afraid. So, welcome aboard if you're new. Ask questions, man. There's a lot to learn here because this is an actual jackpot type of product. So no gimmicks, just math and code. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Much respect to Richard because he organized a team that just crushed it, right? And that's something you just got to respect. So shout out to him.
Sounds good. Golden yacht incoming, right? Oh, wait, hang on. I did forget about the golden yacht. Hang on.
I'm pretty sure Gary has one parked down there somewhere.
I'm rich, bitch! I'm rich, bitch!
Nice. Nice.
Where you at? Actually, I'm on my way to pick you up.
Okay, great. I'm waiting for you.
See you then. Bye.
What the hell was that last part?
I think that was an overplay.
Yeah, no, I cut bits and pieces of picking us up. The golden yacht.
Who was that guy?
Hold on, Gary, were you checking on your golden yacht?
I didn't play that. That wasn't. Well, all of these are yachts. I don't know if you guys know that that's what this is.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is
Biscayne?
Biscayne, right? I don't know. See if we can
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I think I can
Bro.
from the internet.
Yeah, it's coming in and out.
Let me go to a different one.
Sure.
It did sound like it was Kareem, didn't it?
What do you mean? I didn't hear.
Hey, I'm here. I'm coming to pick you up. Okay, see you then. What? Was that Kareem?
He didn't say bang bang, so I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't get the bang bang, it's not official.
It sounded like Kareem talking to Kareem. Hey, Kareem. Yes, I'm going to talk to. Hey, I love you too. Okay, bye.
I got a teaser for let's see. Papa's not single. Bartender, are you single?
No, with kids and all and the whole
All right.
shebang.
So I got an event that's coming up before long, but I really should only share it with single people because the temptation might be too great otherwise.
Oh,
Girls, are you single? Is he still here? I'm making a
That's a
tingle.
no.
You won't confirm nor deny, so let's just leave it as that.
All right. He doesn't want to confirm. That's all good.
Wait, who?
But I
You.
have an event that's
Oh, yeah, I'm
you.
single. I didn't hear my name. Damn, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, I'm single. I'm sorry, my bad.
the challenge.
Tim's like, I'm single, Gary. Hands up.
Single man, put your hands up.
So I got an event coming up. I got an event that's coming up in Kiev very soon, and we're going to use it for part of the marketing for the Wealth Academy in Miami. We're going to use it also for some of the stuff that's coming up in Scottsdale after that in November. But I don't want to break it, be a breakup relationships guy either. So I kind of want to vet people before I show a video. I've got a 3-minute long video about exactly kind of like the yacht stuff that you just saw. Yachts, being able to shoot tanks, actually drive tanks and shoot tanks, go to an intercontinental ballistic launch site and launch a small missile, just a small one. Fly over Chernobyl. I don't want to get out of the helicopter.
Just a small missile,
There's all
small
kinds
grenade.
of
No worries.
It happens, and there's a lot of nice video. There's a lot of content. It's a 4-to-1 ratio as far as 9s or 10s supermodels with us.
Oh,
I've made friends with a
you're too kind to invite.
The Monaco Coin Agenda event. So if you're in that marketplace, you should DM me and I'll send you a little teaser video. See if you want to come along with us.
I know I'm Rector's in that marketplace. I don't think you can get out of Australia though.
Wait a minute. All right, so hang on a second. Let's do this. So if I send it to you, Wales, you cannot forward it to anybody else. You got that?
Gotcha, sir.
All right. So hang on a second. I'm gonna trust the integrity of our institutional organization here for a moment.
Tim, I love your comment.
Hang on a second. Let me freeze this.
Oh man. Yeah, aren't we all?
Unwrecked is already on his way.
Yeah, he already started walking. He said, fuck these damn borders.
All right. So Wales is the only one that said he was single. So hang on a second. All right. So you can play the sound if you want to hear the sound is okay, but don't show any video or anything like that. And I just sent you. It's a private link. Nobody else can see. But play it and then tell me your comments in 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay.
Well, I guess we could run a commercial while Wells is getting his lotion and
donating to the sperm bank, are we?
Yeah, he's gonna share his seed.
I'm not gonna share my seed phrase. Look at my name. Never share your seed phrase.
Nice. All right. Well, we should go for a break. Be back.
Too funny.
Take a quick break.
I cannot believe this is happening. Try putting money into crypto, they said. It'll be fun and make you rich, they said. Yeah, right. I am completely in the red on all my securities and I no longer have the money for rent. I am screwed. Fuck my life. What's this then? Oh my god, that is my coin he is talking about. How many followers does this guy have now? Holy shit, it is rising so fast. I am living the dream thanks to that tweet. I am so filthy rich. That was a dream, wasn't it? For fuck.
Money in the bank. Yeah. Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank. Yeah. Shout out what you drink.
I love that. That's awesome.
That was.
So have you guys heard any other details about this? Have you heard any other details about this potential event that RG3 and Kinetics are considering building out? Anything like that?
No, no more details. I think maybe tomorrow's Wake Up Hex show, maybe some more details will come out.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of different media stuff going on, so different teams, and I know that they've been talking about it on their streams more about hiring professionals to do some of the things that we just get too tight on our schedules to do. And the same thing with Richard. Richard hints at having maybe a professional PR company do some of the things that should be done for him. I think it's gonna be good.
Yep.
What time is it there in Papa, in your zone of the world?
It is 12:35 a.m. now.
Yeah. Do you sleep in on days like this when you participate? Do you sleep in that day?
It seems like every day now. So I'm my wife says, I don't see you anymore. It's like I wake up, you've just come to bed like 15 minutes before I wake up, and I can't communicate with you, and next thing you know, you're off and talking on chat and streaming again. So all right, have that fatty food and tell me where the keys are.
Well, absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Isn't that how it goes?
That and not doing household chores makes the wife very irate.
Well,
but honey, I've got all this stuff going on with Pulse Sacrifice, and now that that's over, I just gotta. I don't know. I gotta keep doing the same thing. Keep the excitement going. Let's do it. Come on, 2 more months. Let's do it. Come on.
Crazy.
Yeah, but it is exciting. I mean, there are a lot of new people coming in on the voice chat, as you've heard, Gary. You know that there's a lot of new people coming in wanting to know what's going on. There's every once in a while there's some dork that wants to FUD the whole thing out, and you gotta, answer to those challenges. And I wouldn't say it's a never-ending thing, but it is a lot better than Hex was at the beginning. That's for sure. So this is like child's play. It's like, hey, how do I do this? What do I do this? There's only 5 effective issues that you have to calm people down with. So I think it's a lot easier this time. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, again, the longer that the trend holds that it's a stair-stepping, climbing product, the more those things fall by the wayside anyway. Most people don't even know the origin of half the products that they utilize.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, did you wash your hands before you touched your keyboard?
Oh, I'm ready to report back on that. That was easy, bro, because I didn't hear Kiev. I only heard you just mention Miami.
Oh, really?
He's got squeaky clean diamond hands.
That's right. But yeah, that's a no-brainer, Gary. After living in Germany and traveling around for a year, I know what time it is in Europe. That's a no-brainer, bro.
Yeah. So we're gonna tie that in. My friend's been operating there for like 20 years, whatever. He's got all the connections.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna have some ex-KGB people, basically our bodyguards while we're there. It is a guy that's a multi-billionaire naturally, but he's also got over $1 billion in crypto under asset control himself, some personal control. He's gonna be coming from the Coin Agenda event in Monaco to spend time with us. So it's gonna be cool.
Wow.
Man, when you learn my real name, you're going to realize that all of those homies of yours are going to love me.
Nice.
Your name is Melvin Rumpelstiltskin.
Sure.
I've just doxed you.
Pretty much. No hair here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, is that no, they got the hair on Rumpelstiltskin, right?
No, you're talking about rumpled foreskin.
Oh, okay. Got it. Can't get Papa in there. You're going to take a whole mile.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Too funny.
Yeah, so the careful thing, obviously, with whales is about doxing. If you did want to go, we would try to keep you off camera. You would have to look at the final edits. But basically, it's going to be, we have 3 video teams that are going to be following us. There's going to be like 6 of us that go. Joe Paris is one of the people from he just recently did the stuff, streams with us recently. But we are looking for people that are going to be camera advocates, on-camera advocates for both our brand in Miami and our brand in Hex and Pulse combined. So we're trying to combine a lot of different things.
Decisions.
You don't have to be on camera unless you want to just talk to people there. Just you DM me to tell me about what you want to do or don't. But I'm only really looking for single people. If you want to be an owner in real estate, you want to be something along those lines in the LLC, then that you don't have to be on camera for that stuff. And I'm not feeling like that's a home wrecking kind of opportunity. But a lot of these guys are 22 to 35 years old, and they're new millionaires, and I don't want them to spend their money on things they don't have to.
Oh, I know somebody I can forward this to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plenty of young guys out here that need that kind of experience so they can get it out and
hey, man,
move along.
If you can get it out of your system, you know, and come back to sanity.
Right. The sooner the better.
What? What?
She knows what I'm talking about. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, Europe is the bomb. Yeah, from that regard. Yes, sir.
I like Europe.
Did you see the tanks and other stuff too? Did you see all
I
that?
didn't even get that far. No, I just got halfway through. I was like, okay, I get what's going on. I'm good. But I'll finish watching it. Hold on.
All right. There's other cultural experiences. I'm just saying.
Well, you know,
it's not a single
the priorities.
Not a single facet kind of a marketing plan.
Oh man, yeah, I'm looking at the boat right now. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. My friend organized for, he's nothing to do with crypto, but he also organized for a multi-billionaire guy that has like a 180 or 170 foot long yacht out of port. He's a Portuguese billionaire, and he organized all the stuff for him. And it was the same thing. He had like 20 companions. 20 companions were pre-selected, you know, for a yacht party. Pretty cool.
Nice.
I DM'd you about the gangbang.
What? What the hell are you guys talking about? What the hell? What is going on?
I'm talking about European economic exchange rate
Austrian.
between EU and dollar. That's all.
Austrian.
Gary just got like 3,000 new followers.
Sorry, single. Sorry, man.
Oh man, I am dying over here. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was so funny, man. Oh man. Good times. Good times.
All about asset protection.
Hey man, stay single as long as you can. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's
Commit to yourself so you can commit to before you commit to anybody else.
Yeah.
No, I really encourage people to have a 4-year-long divorce like myself. That was the best. So awesome. Love it.
It makes you stronger, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's true. That's very true, actually.
All right, guys. I think we've gone on for 2 hours 40. Let's give it a wrap, shall we?
All right.
Oh, hang on.
Right.
Who's here?
Any exciting things on the agenda coming up I should pay attention to? Well, I'm checking in with different streams with any Richard-ish things. I just watch his tweets, that's all.
Well, go ahead, Papa.
Then I'm saying that if that's the Peter that I know, then there's no reason to continue the stream for him. We can talk to him in the green room. Because he'll say, "Hey guys, how are you doing? I just couldn't help but see your streaming. Now we can talk about Slovak things in slow motion. How are you? I love you both. What's going on? Can we start over again for 2.5 hours? Okay."
Oh, no.
That is too funny.
Well, thank you, Gary, for joining us on HexAsians tonight. It was great information that you put out there. Make sure you follow Gary,
For sure.
Funding Jim on Twitter.
Thanks, Gary. It was
Thanks,
great.
Gary.
Yeah, for real, Gary. Thanks for coming on, man.
That was fun.
All right.
All right, run it. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, rest of the chats, I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. See you all later.
Let-